goes way over the top and he's got the touchdown.
Second, play action. Rao has a man down the field.
Downing has a bit of trouble that he has to deal with. He's found himself with space and a target who's open. It is a touchdown.
Good afternoon and welcome to a dreary Loughborough University for this BUCS American football fixture between Loughborough University and Leeds Beckett. All roads lead to Big BUCS Wednesday, and we can look forward to a little bit more of this next year.
Here we go, it's a dangerous show. Leave it all on the floor, let's roll. History's made by the bold and the brave, and the chances you take, let's roll. Everybody stand up, come together. Now it's time to let the whole world know. Here we come, rapping ready to run, till the battle is won, let's go. Stomp your feet, shake the stands, make some noise, this is your chance. Bang the drum, get up and dance, this is your moment. Clap your hands, clap your hands. Clap your hands. Let's see you dance. Clap your hands. Stand up, come together. Make it loud, everyone in the crowd. Join in the sound, let's go. Stomp your feet. Shake the stands. Make some noise. This is your chance. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. Clap your hands.
Well, it looks like a really exciting event to look forward to, as it was last year between UWE and Nottingham Gold. We've got loads to look forward to, not only this afternoon, but for the rest of the season. I'm Matt Walker. Welcome to a very dreary Holywell here at Loughborough University for this afternoon's fixture between the Loughborough University students and Leeds Beckett. I'm joined by Sean Endicott. Afternoon, Sean.
Afternoon, Matt. Good to see you.
You too. So this is the second season of the National League. For those that are new to this format, tell us a little bit how it's working and why BUCS have gone down this route.
University American football has grown tremendously over the last few years, and as a result, you've seen teams invest more time, effort, coaching resources, player resources into the sport. And as a result, you ended up with an upper echelon of teams that needed to be in their own league, wasn't split north versus south, and you ended up with the National League. So last year we saw that kick off. We saw University of West England win the inaugural National League, and obviously them and University of Nottingham looking to try to repeat appearing in that game and so you can come out on top. Durham, Loughborough and Leeds Beckett competing for that as well.
So of course, even though it's the second season of this National League format, the top two teams really in this division are those UWE Bullets and Nottingham Gold. Been in the final for the past 3 years now, I think it is. Are they likely to get overturned this year, or you expect to see those two up the top come Big BUCS Wednesday?
I certainly think those two obviously are competitive at that level. UON already beat UE once this year. We saw that last year with their first matchup. UON won, then they played again later in the year and in the playoffs. Durham was in the final a couple years ago, so I think there's a good chance Durham's going to compete. We saw Durham do very well this year already, and they're playing UE right now for our viewers. Absolutely. And so I think we'll see kind of where things shake out pretty soon.
So let's turn our attention to this game this afternoon then. These two teams both played 3, lost 3. So we're coming into this one. Loughborough University will start looking at their schedule first and a little bit more about them this afternoon. They finished last year in 4th position, got to the semi-finals, lost out 44-7 to those UWE Bullets. Is this team this year, has it improved from that semi-final showing last year?
I think teams at university level, because you have so many players, it's really a juggling act. You improve in some areas, you take a step back in the others. And you see that with UE, Loughborough, everyone in this division, because people graduate, new scholars come in, new players come in. Specifically referring to Loughborough, they have a good batch of returners. I don't think the 0-3 record for either of these teams, honestly, reflects how much they're putting into it. And I think we'll see a much better showing today from Loughborough.
So it was really good. We managed to catch up with head coach of Loughborough University, Martin Hilton, and this is what he had to say about this afternoon's game. I'm thrilled to say I'm joined by Coach Martin Hilton of Loughborough University. Thanks for bringing us to Loughborough on this November dreary day, Martin.
It's not the best, is it? But, hey, it's not as bad as it could be, so let's look on the positive.
Hey, we've got football, and anytime we've got football, it's good.
Yeah.
So, Martin, obviously, been a bit of a rough start for Loughborough University, 0-3 this year. You've been here a long time now. This squad, obviously, hard to keep morale on such a start like this, and particularly with the turnover of players at university level. How do you go to keeping that morale high and trying to build on what is in a really tough league?
You have to stick to coaches' cliches, make each week individual, want to know, all those kinds of things. It's very much focus. It's hard to do, especially when you're on the end of some tough results. But you rely on your leaders, both on the coaching staff and in the players, to help bring people along and keep spirits high. You work on focusing on positives, like we've just done with the weather, and build it up each week in practice. So the good reps build up, and so you rebuild that feeling up through that way.
So I suppose this one particularly, you're coming in against a team who are equally 0-3. So it's kind of a, look, let's get one up on these guys. What's been your preparation during the week, particularly for Leeds, as it might have been different for a different organisation?
No, we tried to treat it just the same. We know they've been in a tough spot as well as we have. They've been on the end of some tough results, but they've also shown positive signs. They've scored against Nottingham. They've scored against they scored against Nottingham, and they've shown they can put the ball around. They've shown they can move the ball against Durham. So we treat them just like any other team in the division. Everyone in this division is tough to face. Obviously, 0-3. We're both struggling a little bit, but you look at it, you can't afford to look at it as a team being down. They're going to raise their game. They had a bye last week. We're coming off a 6-day week, so a short week turnaround. So you look at them as any other opponent from my perspective.
You wake up this morning, it was a glorious day yesterday around here. You wake up this morning and see this weather. Does your game plan alter due to the weather, or obviously all the prep you put in over these last few days, is it still kind of that's the main way forward?
I think we didn't ring up and start exchanging texts or anything saying, oh, we need to change this and that. I think we always came in with our game plan positive. We looked at it 2 or 3 days ago after practices, started it again at the start of the week, and then refined it. No, I think it's just a case of the weather is what it is, and we'll manage it as best we can. We've been practicing in this weather for the last week or two at least, so it's not going to be any surprises for us.
And finally, just give us a little bit of insight. Who should we be looking out for today, particularly on either side of the ball?
It's a hard one.
It is always a hard one.
It's always a hard one. So I'd say we've got some real strong people on the line. So Micah Jobo on D-line, number 79, Taylor Shortland on the offensive line. But you've across the whole O-line and D-line, you've got some guys that can really move and really do some good stuff. And let's focus on those guys for a change.
Well, it sounds like from the background you've got some guys that are really excited to play this afternoon, so we'll let you get back to it and wish you all the very best for the game.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
All right. Great to hear from Coach Hilton from Loughborough University. Turn our attention now then to the visiting Leeds Beckett outfit. And Sean, head coach Mike Ripley for Leeds Beckett comes across from the Manchester Tyrants, the university team up there in Manchester. What does Mike bring to this Leeds Beckett team that maybe was missing?
Mike brings a lot of experience. He has a really good attitude, and he really puts the work in when it comes to recruitment. I know in the under-19 game, several players were reached out to with their families and everything, making sure that they knew what the program is about, what they were trying to build towards. I know several Great Britain under-19 players are on that squad now. Translating under-19 play into the uni game can take a bit longer, so that hasn't translated the wins yet, but I do know the recruitment is there, and that's a really big part of Mike. He's putting in the hours.
So the Leeds Beckett finished 9th overall last season, so they're obviously looking to build this year. What do they need to do to build? Because again, traditionally they run that double wing kind of really compact running game, and we'll probably see similar to that here today with the weather. Maybe not that double wing, but is there anything different that he's going to bring to try and expand that offense?
Yeah, I think you'll see a much more modern offense than the days of Beckett in the past. This ain't your grandparents, Leeds Beckett. I don't expect to see 60 offensive plays running a variation of 3 things. As you said, the weather's a factor. We might see see more in the run game. It is lightening up right now. So if you keep those footballs dry, could it dry? One of the benefits of this turf, if it rained all day, if it's dry for 10 minutes before the kickoff, you can still air it out.
And one thing that will no doubt excite the players from Leeds Beckett is they come here to Holywell, just outside Loughborough University Stadium, which is the home of the NFL Academy, and you see the logos on the field as they play. It's got to be exciting for these guys, just stepping onto a field and seeing those NFL Academy logos all around.
I think it is fun. I've seen teams actually take photos like with the NFL Academy logo, even if they weren't playing with NFL Academy, who, for the record, is very open to helping British clubs and having scrimmages and things in my experience. But my point is that, yeah, the logo's here, and it's a good pitch as well. When you're in the National League, we talked about the National League, the facilities are a higher level. And players in this league, I don't think they fully appreciate that until maybe they go to some smaller clubs, and then they say, I can help these clubs kind of elevate to the same level as the National League. Because pitch, facilities, cameras, getting a live stream here from BUCS, you don't get that everywhere.
No, and I'm sure it will be probably one of the least things on his mind in terms of the field. We managed to catch up with Coach Ripley earlier on to get his views on not only the season, but today's game.
I'm here with Coach Mike Ripley from Leeds Beckett University's American football team. Coach Mike, it's your first year up in the National League. How have you found the transition so far?
Yeah, it's been a little bit obviously difficult. We are playing the best of the best all the time, and we're a team that's in transition. I'm not going to use a rebuild word, but we are a team that's in transition, in flux. We've got 22 players who are eligible for under-19s, so we could legitimately enter a team next year in the under-19s programme. So that's just a kind of scale of the challenges that faces us, but the future's bright for us, and we're really excited for some of the players that are on this roster to see them continue to develop and grow within this programme.
Matt and I spoke earlier about that recruitment effort, how that's one of your big efforts for the team. How have you found those guys transitioning? That jump from under-19 to 11-a-side and to the National League can be pretty big.
Yeah, it's been a baptism of fire. When you're playing a lot of these teams where they recruit heavily on the scholar market, on the postgraduate market, that's not the direction that we want to go in. We want to recruit sort of young British talent. We want to supplement that with, postgraduate talent who are invested in their future and who want to see them do well. And that's going to kind of be our focus over the next couple of years. But yeah, it's been a real baptism of fire for some of those guys. But, we're seeing changes, we're seeing sparks of life, we're seeing how they're adjusting. And, the big thing for us, and especially for you, being an under-19s coach yourself, I'm sure you're excited to get these guys back as well and get them another year at under-19s football and continue to develop.
Exactly right. Transitioning to today's game, the weather's a bit hit and miss. We thought it might dry off for a bit. How much does that affect your game plan today?
Well, obviously we've had a change at quarterback, so we've got Sam Hayes now. He's going to be our quarterback moving forward for the rest of the season. He's more of a run-first QB, so actually I think the conditions probably he would prefer. But that's kind of what we'll have to adjust to. Obviously Loughborough looking ahead to our opponents. They've got a great aerial passing attack, but also a great ground game as well. So it'll be interesting to see what they kind of roll with today and how they approach the game.
Last question, you mentioned this transition to growing time for you all. Where's this going to be? If I'm asking these same questions next year, what's the Beckett program going to look like?
I mean, we've got a 5-year plan. So, we're kind of, last year was year 0, we're in year 1 now, a real kind of drive and a focus. So we're going to continue to build, we're going to continue to add pieces, to add development, but also, to kind of have an eye on the future as well. So we're going to continue to grow. But what we have to remember is we've got no third years on the roster. Everybody that you see today pretty much is coming back. I think we lose 4 players after this year, so this team is pretty much going to be the team next year, but we're going to continue to add to it, continue to supplement with it. And certainly there's people watching today that have already been contacted by us and our recruitment. Shout out to my recruiting coordinator Ryan Gilmartin. He's brought experience from Wake Forest, so he previously interned there, and he's brought that experience into us. And we're going to continue to recruit in a professional manner. We're going to continue to recruit the right people as well, and they're going to be kind of the changes that this program needed, and they're going to kind of headline this program for the next couple of years.
All right, well, thank you very much, Coach Mike, and good luck today.
Thank you.
Great to hear from those coaches, Sean, as we prepare for this encounter between the Loughborough University students and those Leeds Beckett American football team individuals that we can see on screen today. We were looking at the fixtures so far, weren't we, Sean? And between these two teams, between Leeds and Nottingham in their 3 games, they've scored 12 points apiece and been put to the sword by the big guns in this National League.
Yeah, we see the upper tier of the national Prem, University Nottingham, Durham, UWE. They've all competed with each other, and they really have these powerhouse offenses and strong defenses. So hard to put points up against them. I think both Beckett and Loughborough looking to come in and change that story today.
We see the captains come onto the field, led by quarterback Bailey Mann of Loughborough University, and we see our zebras waiting at midfield, and it's always good to make sure we give the BAFRA officials a shout out. Our referee this evening, Mr. David Hewitt, in the white hat there, just on the NFL logo, leading a crew of Frank Asa Barroso, Will Fazekali, Pete, Tom, James Ford Bannister, Ali May and Ian Rogers. And again, always great to have these guys from BAFRA on board, without whom we would have no football, Sean.
Yeah, exactly right. We always need refs, and they're always recruiting, so please make sure to get in touch with them.
This is the coin toss, okay? Just come in again. Guys. Football is head, shield is tail. Football is head, shield is tail. Leeds, you're the visitors, it's your call. What's your call, please? Heads. And it is a tail, you've won the toss. So you're going to take the ball. Which way do you want to kick? Okay, guys, if you turn to face the way that you're going to be kicking off. Loughborough won the toss. They chose to defer their option to the second half. Leeds will be receiving this end of the field. Have a good game, guys.
So there we go, as we heard from referee David Hewitt, Loughborough did win the toss and as is customary, deferred to the second half, and Leeds elect to receive the opening kickoff and go on offence first. Sean, as a coach yourself, is that your mindset if you win a toss, or how do you play it? Does it depend on each game?
I've always had really good defenses on my teams. I've been really fortunate to have that. So we always defer, assuming that we'll stop the opening drive and then get the second one, get the advantage in the second half.
So here we go, you can see the field. We've had a lot of rain here in Loughborough today, and that brilliant surface as it is in this NFL Academy training field has taken a bit of a soaking. But as you say, Sean, whether it's wet or not, the footing usually stays pretty sure.
Yeah, the most dangerous time when it comes to slipping and sliding is when the sprinkling's going on. Once it's kind of saturated, it pretty much sinks in. If you're on the field and it starts raining mid-game, that can be the worst footing in my experience. So these guys, they've warmed up on this. Everyone that's on the field now has been on this pitch for hours.
So just about ready for kickoff. 5 p.m. local time here in Loughborough, wherever you're watching. We're going to keep an eye on the score that's going on in the National League other game today. That's between UWE and Durham, and at last count, Sean, you had a little look at that. What was going on?
Well, Durham was up 7-6, but UE was driving, so I'm not sure what that is now. They're just going into the half, so we'll try to keep you up to date over there. They are in halftime, though, so everyone should be watching this game. Looks like UE did score just before the half. So 12-7 halftime there. The only game going on in all of the UK for British American football is right here.
And away we go, a short little squib kick, and that one skids out of bounds over on the far sideline. It's going to be Leeds ball on around about their 27. That's where they're going to kick things off.
Beautiful pitch, not so beautiful weather. Floodlights came on, everyone kind of gave a sarcastic cheer and applaud when that went on about 4 o'clock. Early sunsets these days, Matt. That's nighttime at about 4:30 in Loughborough these days.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of sun anyway at this time of year in England, and it's even less when the cloud cover is as it is. But nevertheless, we see Leeds go to work. So quarterback Sam Hayes, I believe, number 8, takes the ball, hands off straight away, and it's a run to the right-hand side, and he's met by 3 Loughborough defenders for a pickup of 3 on first down.
Yeah, running back did a good job finding the edge, got a little cut up field. Good on a first down to make it about 2nd and 6. I believe Beckett sent us some depth charts here, so we'll try to get familiar with these numbers as we go throughout the day with the running back who was in. We have some new running backs for Beckett. I believe everyone that's on the field today has not started at running back before.
Interesting. A very young offense, as Coach Ripley mentioned. A very young team all in all as they go to the air on second down. Scrambling to his right, throws back across his body, and he threw it just out of the reach of his intended receiver, who is number 40. Just trying to get to grips with this depth chart. I think it's Cheyenne LeCour playing 40 at the moment. We've got him listed as a D-end, but he's obviously playing tight end or receiver as well.
Yeah, a little bit of a flood concept on that last play. Had someone across streaking towards the sideline, could have popped that underneath. Hayes is going to want that one back. Could have moved the chains early on in this game. New formation coming out for Beckett, 3 on the bottom of your screen.
Good jump from the left end of the line, and the quarterback has to take off and tries to slide, picks up positive yardage, but it will be 4th down. And after a good pickup on 1st down, you get an incompletion on 2nd down, you're behind the chains on 3rd and long.
Yeah, and even with that scramble, once you start sliding, that's where the ball is. Even if you slide 3 yards forward, you get it where you started the slide to protect the quarterback. So not a lot of yards, and about 4th and 5, I should say.
Good pressure off the left end of that Loughborough defensive line by Arafat Sadiq, number 53. He got a really good jump on the snap count, put pressure on the QB and forced him wide and didn't give him really any option to set his feet and throw.
We mentioned the points for Loughborough this year. One of their only touchdowns has been their returner. But because that kick went out of bounds, I don't think Ellis could get a chance to put a hand on that.
Loughborough are going to get themselves in a real good field position. In fact, it looks like they're going to start, if not at midfield, just inside their own half. They're going to pick things up, and quarterback Bailey Mann will lead his offense onto the field.
Bailey's been out for a few games now, or Mann, I should say, has been out for a few games with injury, coming back, being able to practice this week. Hopefully, from Loughborough's perspective, we'll be able to get back into stride. Beckett's given up some deep passes, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Loughborough go for that early in this game.
And they go to the air on 1st down into the waiting arms. That's a great grab by the big-bodied receiver, Josh Oluwatosin, and that's a name we know very well.
Yeah, Josh has been on quite a few streams throughout the UK recently, and a good placed ball by Mann on the opening play, a quick little slant route to Oluwatosin.
And he's got such a big body out there. You know, that little slant play, all you've got to do is put it on those numbers, and the numbers on the front of that shirt are a huge target for the quarterback.
Big body, big plays, tiny knee pads. That's Josh in a nutshell.
Do players wear leg protection anymore? You know, back when I was playing in the 90s, we got big knee pads and thigh pads on. They seem to have as little as they can as the runner. This time, taking a plethora of Leeds players to get him down, but still, Oliver Zaremski, he's not taken to the ground.
Zaremski just wouldn't go down, and Beckett, to their credit, had 3 to 4 people pushing that pile back. As I tell the young players I coach, Matt, if you're pushing a guy backwards and holding on to him, the ref will blow the whistle eventually.
So nice play there for Leeds. Brings up 3rd down, just about a yard.
Probably 4 down territory if you're looking at Loughborough's offense right now as they reset some of their players.
2 receivers to the top of the screen. This one is kept, and there's a man in the flat. He's going up top. He's got a man wide open. Broken coverage, and the receiver stopped on the route. Ellis Roth. The ball hung up in the air, and Roth didn't know whether to stick or twist and kind of got caught in no man's land.
Yeah, Ellis completely uncovered on that play. He's going to want that one back. I just think him and Mann weren't on the same page. When you're that open and the DB isn't even within 5 yards of you, it's almost, do I keep running or do I just stand where there's no one? I think Mann thought one thing and Roth thought the other.
Beautifully executed play there on 3rd down. Lovely play action, allowing Bailey Mann to roll out to his right. He had a man in the flats as well, and we said it was 4th down territory, but Coach Hilton elected to actually, and now he did, it's a fake. Another Watterson gets the ball, he's off to the races, left-hand side at the 30, down to the 20, and scoots out of bounds at about the 18-yard line.
I love it when you have a long snapper who can snap the ball diagonally. It makes these trick plays so much easier, and obviously Oluwatosin doing a good job following those blocks, had a kick-out block as well.
And loads of experience. The wide receiver there, Josh Oluwatosin, played all over the place at every different level as well. So 1st down, Loughborough. And on their opening possession, remember they won the toss, elected to defer. Leeds went 3 and out. Now Bailey Mann and the offense in business just outside the red zone. Going to the air again. Interesting. Little swing pass out to the flats, trying to hit his receiver, who is running back Zaremski, and that just skids off his wet gloves.
I told them all, I just talk in general, with players in this weather, you got to be aware that when it's this wet gloves are probably worse than no gloves. My general advice would be warm up, pregame. You can see right now, you see Ellis just jogged across the screen to the left, Oluwatosin coming off to the screen to your left. No gloves on those receivers. They usually wear gloves top of your screen as well. No gloves, 3 of these receivers. Running back maybe might want to take that advice.
2nd and 10. Surprised they're going to the air so much. Sean in the early stages. Into the air again. On the slant over the middle, he's got his man. He's inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. And if I'm going to be brutally honest, that pass was a little bit behind his receiver, number 88, Toby Scott. But Toby Scott did well to turn, snag that ball, and get inside the 5.
Tight end's got to be the quarterback's best friend. And keeping that ball low, man did a great job putting that where only the tight end had a chance. You can see this ball does not fly that high up. You get just a little bit of a play action, keeps the ball pretty low. And that big body of Scott able to bring the ball down and inside his body around the 5-yard line.
You wonder if he'd have been able to put that just in stride, though, whether Scott would have had a route into the end zone. But nevertheless, it's 1st and goal. Quarterback hands off. Running back bounces. 1 tackle missed, and he bumps his way into the end zone for the opening score of the afternoon. Touchdown, Loughborough. That's going to go the way of Oliver Zaremski.
Zaremski with a bit of redemption, dropped that swing pass earlier. Now he's got a touchdown, putting Loughborough on the board with their opening drive. A drive that was extended by that fake. A little bit of a split concept. You get that kick-out block from the up back. And some struggling tackling there from Beckett. Unfortunately, hit him in the backfield. Could not make the stop.
And that's a classic. Got to wrap that man up rather than just trying to knock him down. Zaremski barrels his way into the end zone. Looking a little bit there like Cam Scadaboo. He would not be denied on that 1st down play. The kick is no good. It is blocked.
Issa is going to be upset with that. That's number 86 jogging off the field right now. That kick was blocked. It's a little bit low, but I also thought there was some penetration by the defensive line pressuring. Loughborough mostly smiles, though, despite the missed point after touchdown. You got to love scoring on your opening drive.
Well, and mixing it up as well. We saw run plays, we saw play action, looking to try and take the top off the defense as well by going deep, slants to big body Olawatasin, then using the tight end and punching it in on a 3-yard scamper by Zaremski, which gives us that 6-0 scoreline here in the 1st.
Yeah, Loughborough does a lot of motions. They do a lot of shifts, a lot of rotations in the backfield, that sort of thing. So you're going to see that throughout the day. And as you said, a bit of a drive that exemplifies what they're trying to do on offense. A few disconnects, but ultimately ended up in 6 points.
And how'd you like this then, Sean? Coach Hilton said obviously they had a 6-day turnaround to this game. And then next Saturday, they make the trip down to Bristol to play those UWE Bullets. And that's thoughts for another day, but let's see what they can do and whether or not they can oil that Loughborough machine ready as the kick goes out of bounds. And was that touched? I can't see any flags at the moment.
It was not touched. They threw a flag, but it landed behind someone.
Okay. So that's going to be an illegal procedure penalty on the special teams unit of Loughborough, which is going to give good field position to Leeds. Let's hear from our referee. I'm just discussing and making sure he got that call right, although... Yeah, here we go. Here's David Hewitt.
Illegal procedure, kick-off out of bounds, kicking team. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the dead ball spot. 1st down.
So a 5-yard advantage for Leeds.
Yeah, it's only 5 yards, I guess. I'd have to check with the, I think it's 5 yards from a certain point. So I'd have to double check the exact phrasing on that. But it looks like they're going to be starting at the 30 or 35.
Yeah, look, I think it's 5 yards from where the ball went out of bounds. Obviously, in the NFL, illegal procedure penalty, you get the ball on the 40, I believe.
You know what this might be? It might be if it went out of bounds before a certain point. So in any event, it's about the 34-yard line as we see Beckett lining up in this one tight end offense.
Ball handed off again on 1st down. Nice little cut, and he's got a gap up the middle and a big pickup on 1st down. Close to another 1st down, and indeed, the runner is signaling 1st down. Let's see if the referees agree. Once again, that's number 32. We've not got a 32 on our roster, but we do have a Gabriel Whitehead, not numbered, so we could maybe assume we're running backs that we've got listed on our depth chart. We've got Josh Knowles as number 35.
Well, I'll tell you this much, Matt. If that's not someone who starts at running back or rotates already, they might have to make some changes after this game. That was a great run, and here he is again, this time trucking his way through getting to the second level and getting another first down. I'd keep that guy in at that position.
And I think it is number 32. We've got Rashawn Christopher listed as a free safety, but he's coming in and he's bouncing. He's got a spring in his step. The big-bodied running back, 2 plays, 10 yards apiece, and they're into Loughborough territory.
And he is amped up and ready to go on that first run. Looked to go outside, saw the hole, cut upfield. Second time, no disguise whatsoever, just barreled straight through the defense.
And you say the word barreled, I mean his body shape as he gets the ball again on first down. He makes that cut again and finds another hole. And that's 3 plays, at least 10 yards on each play for Christopher. And Leeds Beckett have got something going. They found a recipe for success on this drive.
When you're trying to stop a big-bodied running back like that, you got to hit him early, you got to hit him often, and within legal spaces, you got to hit him low. And so far, Loughborough hasn't been able to do that. 3 plays in a row, now they have the red zone to adjust.
Goodness me, what a start there on this drive. Leeds finding some answers with their running game. And at the moment, that Loughborough defense has no answers. You'd think they'll go to the well one more time, and they do. Christopher again, this time bounces it to the left. He's met in the backfield, and that's a good tackle. Nice open field tackle by Loughborough's number 54, Marshall Dixon.
Marshall, I believe, one of their first-year players, and that's a really good job reading that. You can see, if you're not used to a certain run game, you're not used to reading these gaps. It takes you a few times, but now we have to see, is that a trend or not? And now he's jogging off the field. Looks like Beckett's running back might have hurt his hand just a little bit, wincing ever so slightly. But yeah, back to Dixon. Dixon did a great job with that tackle, and he found the gap. When you're a linebacker, you got to find holes the same way running backs do and then fill them.
Well, yeah, absolutely right. And Christopher ran off the field there, like you say, shaking the finger, but he's had 4 carries in a row. He's going to be gassed a little bit after picking up 32, 33 yards into the air on second down, and that's dangerously away from the receiver. That's number 86 was the intended receiver, Mo Sewell. And Mo Sewell kind of stuck out a hand and almost say, what?
Yeah, Jack Humphrey had a really good pass defense there, managed to have one hand behind the player, one hand in front of him. Really good job. And you're not going to get a lot of completions when defenders have that good positioning.
So here we go then. Third down, 3 plays, and they got into the Loughborough 30-yard line. I stalled since the run by Christopher. Then the incompletion, so 3rd and 12 up, coming back to the air, goes over the top, and that's floated and almost intercepted once again. Really good coverage that time by Marcus Bailey.
Yeah, Marcus did a great job on that. Marcus has been around the game for a long time. I believe he's played for over 10 years, and you can start reading plays. This throws a completion against different defensive coverages, but Marcus does a good job recovering and getting one hand up. Great extension. Not a lot of height difference between those 2 players, but Marcus was the higher of the 2 of them on that one.
Luke Rodriguez, the intended receiver. Now, interesting. We spoke before the game. I was speaking to one of our colleagues from BUCS who kind of said, well, I don't think we're going to see many field goal attempts here tonight. But Coach Ripley decided to try and get points on the board after what has been a successful drive for the Leeds Beckett University team. And the kick is up. It looks long enough, is it? It is good. What a great way to start things off for Leeds, and they get points on their second possession.
A 45-yard kick in the rain, in the cold. Way to kick that up, and he had so much height on that. It's a lot of the time in these situations, British kickers, they struggle to get the ball up over the offensive line. That was no doubt from their kicker as he goes onto the field to make the kickoff.
Because there was some penetration there from Loughborough as well around the edge, but Leo McBrien manages to slot that one through and half the Loughborough advantage. And it's no more really than Leeds deserved on that drive. They've got something going with the ground game and Christopher. And then they've topped things off after stalling a little bit and got a little bit of just reward.
A competitive first quarter so far, about 10 minutes into this game, 9-10 minutes into this game, and we're starting to see runs, some passes, and now a tremendous kick. I say that completely honest. A 45-yard kick in this weather is not easy. And I would say as well, kicking in this game is a bit of a challenge in the UK because you have so many new players, and so few of them have been able to rep special teams, so you don't always get the time to prioritize that type of kicking.
So Leo McBrien will have a spring in his step as we focus on one of those Leeds special teamers. It was Freddie Loach who got his time in the spotlight, number 53. The kick is up and it's angled towards the right-hand side, fielded inside the 10. looking to try and get a run back, and that's a great open field tackle. See if we can get a number for you. The kick returner was Sasha Batel.
I believe, is it 5 or 6 that caught that? Was it 5 that Sasha? Yeah, if it was Sasha, yeah, he didn't follow his block. Ellis tried to block a player to the right, and Sasha went up to the left. I'm not going to want that on film, or not going to enjoy watching that back on film, because he had a block that he didn't quite follow. And a really good kick, both high, long, and to the side for Beckett.
I'd love to be able to give that tackler credit as well, number 49, but fortunately don't have a 49 on our roster as I scan through.
You without 49ers, you would be crying.
But I'm upset. I'm upset. So Leeds need to get that sorted. Man in motion on first down. Ball handled off straight up the middle. Nice seam through the D-line of Beckett into the second level. And a nice explosive run, and still on his feet. Whistle hasn't blown yet, and Zaremski, following on from his last time he touched the ball, he picked up 6 points. This time he picks up over 10 yards.
Little bit of window dressing with that motion, and then Zaremski right up the middle, barreling his way, saying we can do that too.
What I'm liking from Loughborough is they're showing Leeds a little bit of everything. They've got motion coming in, they've got fake jet sweeps, play action, running inside, running outside, short pass, long pass. This offensive playbook, you'd have thought, I asked Coach Hilton at the beginning, will the weather affect how you call this game? And evidently it's not. They've got the full playbook open to them. First down then. Loughborough. 2 receivers to the left-hand side for the quarterback. 1 in single coverage at the top. They hand off again. Good penetration from the D-line that time. And that one goes nowhere. Maybe a loss of a yard on the play.
Nowhere to go, as you said. The defensive lineman, big number 76, making that. That's Tom York Robinson. Got upfield and then made the tackle in space. Or I should say in close quarters, I should say.
Yeah, good penetration, like you say, straight through that D-line. That's going to be, it looks like a loss of half a yard from where our chain crew have got that second down marker lined up. This time they bring one of those receivers in as a sort of up back, and he swings out. Wide open again. The ball is floated, and it is in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That ball, you can see the conditions here as we get that close-up shot. The rain is streaming down, and I think unfortunately that Bailey man pass just slipped a little and was a little high for his intended receiver.
Yeah, you could see that man does a good job faking this run, getting the roll out, sees that the flat's covered, and finds the open man, but just cannot reel it in. And who is that? That's Toby Scott. It's not great weather for this. You can see that shot from this angle gives you a much better indication of the conditions they're dealing with.
And as much as those conditions aren't great, Scott would have wanted to be catching that football. He's got nobody within 5 yards of him. And yeah, it's high, it's a little slippery, but we've got to be pulling those in. So third on long then, to the air again. Got time, steps back, looks over the middle. Passes almost intercepted. Great coverage that time by number 80, I believe that is. It is number 80. See if we can get a name for you on that one as well.
Yeah, it looked like the middle of the field was going to be open in that cover 2 look by Beckett. Really good job dropping back into coverage is the Beckett defender. I believe that's a linebacker who got back in there, got his hand. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That is one of the... yeah, there's one of the defensive backs coming and making that play. That's a really good job.
Luke Rodriguez, the player there, plays receiver as well as DB. So on fourth down then, after a good run on first down by Zaremski, as the snap is high and just manages to get the kick away. And it's floating high. There was that touch. That looks like what was touched by a Beckett defender. It's still on the ball, on the floor, scrabbling around. Let's wait for a call from our officials. Nothing yet. Loughborough celebrating. It was Sam Innes who dropped on the ball initially. Was that touched by a Beckett defender? Discussion going on by the Zebras.
Yeah, you're seeing who touched it, also who touched it first, and I think as that ball was bouncing down, yeah, they're gonna say that this was touched first by
Loughborough. They've signaled first down for Leeds, so they're saying that ball wasn't
that's
touched.
What I'm saying. Yeah, it must have been touched not by Leeds, but not by Beckett, but by Loughborough. I thought as it was rolling down the field, it might have bounced into the foot of somebody, but I guess it did not.
And all the Loughborough players in the vicinity thought the same thing. But fortunately for the men in black, they live to fight another day, but field position not their friend this time around. They're going to start first down inside their own 10-yard line.
Matt, I was worried that these uniforms wouldn't be different enough color-wise, but with these super bright floodlights on this pitch, they look great.
And as you say, the amount of rain we've had, you can see we continue to have as Referee David Hewitt signals Loughborough calling their first timeout. Well, it's been an entertaining first quarter so far, Sean. We've had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, points for both teams as we wait for Hewitt.
Timeout, Loughborough. 3 minutes, 15 seconds, quarter number 1. This is their first charge timeout of the half.
One timeout. They don't carry over, so you might as well use them now. If you don't like a look that you see, one of your defenders out of place, or maybe you just want to get someone else on the field or correct some things, always got to use them in the first half.
Here's that punt again. Let's see how close we can see them. We've got a bit of a closer camera on this. Again, that high snap did the punter to field that football. Have a look here. It looks like he thought, shall I field it? Oh, I'll pull my hands. Oh, that's so close. I think just the dampness of the turf and the way that the ball bounced at the angle made it look like it might have clipped something. But in the minds of the referees, nope. So maybe Coach Hilton even got his team there together and gone like, yeah, you're disappointed. You thought you got that ball. Let's refocus. I use that timeout for that, even at the end of a special teams play. So smart thinking by Coach Hilton. Let's see how this defense holds up then. Long way to go for Leeds to either tie things up in this first quarter or take the lead. First down, back to the ground game. There's a hole up the middle again, and that foot gets planted in the ground, bounces to his left, manages to pick up maybe half a yard, but no more than that.
Yeah, with the Beckett offense going more on the ground, bringing in a fullback on that play as well, Loughborough's having been more aggressive from their linebackers, and that's exactly what we saw. Really good play, defensive line opening up some gaps, and the Loughborough second and third levels racing in to make those plays.
Zev Stewart Harris there, one of the men coming from his safety position to make that play. Rashawn Christopher on the carry on first down. It'll be second down and maybe 9 yards plus.
Sticking with that fullback.
Yeah, same formation. Pretty similar play, looking for a better result, and they get a better result. In on the tackle again, Stuart Harris from that safety position, number 6, comes downhill and makes contact with Christopher, but a good pickup by Rashawn Christopher on second down.
Great kick out block by Beckett. They got to keep these edges where they want them instead of letting the edges circle around after they get upfield. That's what we're seeing so far on that run and a few others.
So far, this young Leeds Beckett outfit putting a really good shift in against these Loughborough University students.
No fullback now, spread it out.
2 receivers either side going to the air then. Always at a quarterback draw already. Thought about running. Now he's rolling to his right. Throws to the sideline. That's tipped. And, unfortunately, looked like he'd got that reception on the tip. Did that receiver. I think that's number 80 again, is it? It is. Number 80, who called his name a few times. Luke Rodriguez, he was the man who broke up that play from the DB position on the last Loughborough offensive series. Turns his hand to receiver and just can't hold that one in.
Hayes is fortunate there. His offensive line got away with the hold as he was trying to run away. A referee decided it wasn't enough a contact to justify it. I thought, if you look here, it's just before that play. This ball tipped, I think. If that's on a sunny day, it's probably a catch, but here, and then it ends up bouncing on the ground. It's just an incompletion.
Kieran Afomi, cornerback, eyes would have lit up and seen the end zone in front of him, and instead of catching it, it doinks him in the grill.
Yeah, we might see a timeout by Beckett. I think they were late to get someone on the field, and they're trying to make sure that they are secure.
Delay of game, offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's fourth down.
I don't know if there's a worse feeling than that, Matt. You're the player on the sideline. Someone's going, we're short. And I don't know these players enough to say if that guy was supposed to be in or if he was running in to fill in for somebody who was hurt or something. But it's not a good feeling.
No, not when it costs your team 5 yards.
And now in his own end zone, a bad snap here could be deadly on the scoreboard.
See how much pressure. It's a low snap. It feels well. It goes off the side of his boot, bounces right bang on the 40, takes a Beckett roll inside to Loughborough territory, and it squirts out of bounds at the Loughborough 39-yard line.
Did a good job for that to bounce off his foot and then still go past midfield. I thought that was flying out much earlier.
So, a minute and change left then in this first quarter here at Loughborough University. Very competitive 6-3 scoreline, and Loughborough will be looking to try and put their foot on the gas as we approach the second quarter. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, Sean, when I arrived here at Loughborough today and I saw the conditions, I kind of looked up and thought, is this going to be much of a spectacle to watch? Well, it has been. Both teams have been trying to play ball, not just trying to stick the ball up their jumper and run as they go to the air on first down, and that is ripped away by Oluwatosin, and he's away down the sideline, the 30, the 20, and then steps out of bounds, and a late hit is that. He looks like he was taken out of bounds very late. Oluwatosin went out on his own accord, and maybe 2-3 yards out of bounds, the defender came in. What's your call on that?
That looked like it was going to be a pick six for the defense, and Oluwatosin just said, give me that ball. He drags it out of the defender's hands and streaks it downfield, and we'll see this hit at the end of the play. So you can see that looks like a pick. Oluwatosin says, no, thank you, I'm going to take that. And this hit, I think he was no, he was definitely out of bounds. That should have been a late hit. I'm not sure how that wasn't. It was quite late, but they'll take the yardage. They're now inside the red zone, and they've brought in a fullback. Going to get that motion.
Here comes that motion, yeah. Luke Rodriguez, then the man who tried to pick it off. Ball handed off up the left channel, just off tackle. And that's taken this time. New runner on the field. This time is Oyemi Balogun.
Balogun's got to do a better job finding the hole. There were some places to cut that run, and I think he was a little predetermined on where he was going to be. Offensive line had some movement. I'd have to see a replay to say for sure, but it looked like he could have cut to get some more yards there.
As you mentioned already, Sean, Loughborough, a lot of window dressing going on, isn't there? A lot of motion, fake ball on the jet sweep, and then hand it to that back as Balogun remains there. It's the same play again. They like what they saw first time. Balogun only just manages to get hold of the football that time. Not a great exchange from man to Balogun, but securely in, and another positive pickup.
Loughborough loves to give their quarterbacks options. So the quarterback there can run. In some cases, they're either going to have a cold rollout or it might be an RPO. And that jet motion is setting up all three of those situations. And they'll do that repeatedly throughout the day. And we've already seen it on today's game as we reach the end of the first quarter. So far, a very entertaining game. 6-3, not the scoreline I think many would have expected, but a welcome one for those trying to find points for these two teams.
Absolutely, and if this is your first introduction to the sport of American football here, courtesy of BUCS, and we hope you're enjoying it. It's been a good one to watch, to be fair. There's been lots of action. That could have easily gone the other way when Rodriguez tried to pick that ball off, and as you rightly said, Oluwatosin just snatched it out of his grasp. And it was a battle of strength that enabled the Loughborough receiver to trot down the sideline and put themselves into scoring position as they are here. But there's Coach Mike Ripley, and are we pleased with what he's seen so far?
I think so. He talked about trending in the right direction, building a program, and getting your youngsters experience. He refused to use the word rebuild though he did say that word, but he refused to call it a rebuild. I think you're happy if you're making plays with young guys. I believe they have, he said, 22 players with U19 experience, so it's a very young team, and they're making some plays. Right now, though, it's some of the more experienced players on Loughborough making plays. Bailey Mann has been around this game for a long time, and Oluwatosin is one of the premier receivers in the UK. You can see that he did not give up when it looked like the defender was going to pick that off. In fact, actively took the ball away from the defender. It wasn't some bat down or that the defender dropped it. I mean, the defender had the ball, and Oluwatosin took the ball. That's some veteran play.
Absolutely, not giving up on the play. But here's a big play now. So 2 runs by Loughborough's.
Middle of the field completely open right now. Tight end streak.
Yeah, Balogun in again. Play action this time. Oh, great defensive play that time. Intended receiver was Ellis Roth. And breaking that one up was number 39, I think that is.
That is a great play by number 39. I want to give him credit. I will say that's not the way you want to attack that middle of the field. They had no linebackers ready to cover that space, and instead, because they slanted in, they're bringing a DB in towards the middle of the field. If I see that look again, I'm taking notes if I'm the Loughborough coach saying, let's go ahead and streak that down the middle. Now we're going to see a field goal attempt the other way, kicking into the same uprights that we saw that 45-yard make.
Andrew Sue was the defender there, number 39, who broke that one up and kept Loughborough out of the end zone. Let's see if they can tack on another 3 to regain that 6-point lead. Good pressure again. Ball is up. Looks good from our angle, and it is no good.
Yeah, that must have been wide. Yeah, wide left. Yeah, good operations. I think he felt a bit of pressure from that left side. Might have ended up hooking that ball because of it. Beckett, black 50s, black That's Beckett's number 52. I believe got a tip on that ball perhaps as well. Well, it still went pretty far. It was just hanging to the left. Loughborough now on defense. They flipped the field with Oluwatassen's big play, but did not get any points to show for it. And now Beckett is going to start just outside the red zone. Those new to the game, you get the ball where the kick was attempted from, not from the previous line of scrimmage. So because it was a missed kick, the defense effectively gains an extra 7 yards.
Because of where the holder has their knee down when they're holding that football, that's right. So here we go then. First down, Leeds. Still just 3 points adrift. Long way to go again. And there's that big runner. Makes the first man miss, but then is absolutely stuffed.
Yeah, a lot of Loughborough defenders in on that. Don't want to call out just one. With number 6 on your screen, Stuart Harris being one of them, but also the defensive line making some plays. I believe Michael's in at the left defensive tackle spot, making a play. That's number 93. Loughborough had some runs up the middle, some big runs by Beckett's number 32, has since made some changes. You're starting to see that come a little bit into fruition in this quarter.
Trips this time, but the ball handed off again to Rashawn Christopher. He got it on first down, he got it on second down, and he's gone backwards again.
Well, that is number 93. I apologize earlier. I think I had my numbers mixed up. That is Michael Ibawesum. That's a big tackle for number 93. He looks so big and powerful, taking that running back in and then throwing that running back to the ground. And again, if you are Beckett, you got to say what was working and how do we get back to it.
Well, I think this is what was working last time, but I think Loughborough have adjusted to it, and Beckett are trying to just keep hammering down the door. Twins either side this time for Leeds, and they do go to the air on third and long. Steps up into the pocket, he's got a lane, and off he goes. He's got to tuck that football, he's got room. He scrambles out of bounds after picking up the first down. And I'm sincerely hoping that is the quarterback that I'm thinking of. We've not got a number for it, but I'm hoping that's Sam Hayes. We've got Alec Ralph as number 12 listed on our roster.
Yeah, I think Hayes is. Yeah, I think that's Hayes. I'd love to see a replay on that if we could, just because I was curious if. All right, Loughborough has. They had some struggle on contain there, and I don't know if it was a footing issue or not, because I saw some Loughborough defenders on the ground.
I love that from a young quarterback, though. Obviously seeing space, taking off. I'd just like to see him wrap that ball a little bit sooner. But the running back is wrapped for a loss of 3 that time again. And unfortunately, Rashawn Christopher, who had some success earlier in the first quarter, that success is diminishing now.
Yeah, we've now seen big plays by Marshall Dixon, David Adeyemi, and Michael Ibawosum at 3 of the last 4 plays. So that box play for Loughborough, stepping up defensive line and linebackers. Unfortunately, from the perspective of a defense, all it takes is one big play by the offense to make all that up.
As we saw previously on that third and long. And this is second down. Run was intended to go up the middle again, and it's, I tell you what, he's having a performance and a half. Is Zev Stuart Harris from that safety position. Made contact once again in the backfield, did the safety. So they're kind of gambling all out on the run at the minute, and Beckett now signaling to the sideline for a fear of an injured player, and unfortunately I think that might be Rashawn Christopher who remains down, the runner. We'll just get a check on that as a referee's timeout. So we'll dip away for a minute while he receives some attention. We wish him all the very best, but this is, Sean, the road to Big Bucks Wednesday. These 5 teams in the Premier National. Nottingham currently sit atop the tree with 3 wins from their 3 games. They've scored a combined 107 points, conceded 38. Durham are currently second as things stand. I know you're dipping in now just to see how that Durham UWE game's going. So Durham, before today, played 2, won 2. They're on 4 points. UWE, they've played 3, they've won 2, and they've lost the 1 game to the University of Nottingham. They're currently in 3rd place, same amount of points as Durham on 4 points, but due to that loss, they sit 3rd in the table. Then come Loughborough, then 4th, and Leeds Beckett 5th, and Loughborough in 4th place, purely on the fact that they've conceded less points. Their points differential is better than Leeds. How's that UWE Durham game going, Sean?
Right now, they're about midway through the 3rd quarter. Durham is up 14-12, but UE just had about a 30-yard run up the middle, so they're now attacking and in the red zone of Durham.
But I tell you what, Sean, 14-12, I mean, Durham, you know, you would kind of think from what we've seen in previous years, and we know that Bristol is a real hotbed of football at the moment in the UK, is as Gabriel goes up top looking for a man, and that's almost intercepted again. That one ball just hungs up there, and Kieran Afomi had an opportunity and just managed to dip it away. But I say, Sean, obviously the UWE Bullets, they're current BUCS champions. Obviously the Bristol Aztecs are the current BAFA national champions, defeating the London Warriors in September this year. We know the Filton Pride is strong down there. The Apache. It's just really Bristol football at the moment is there or thereabouts. So actually to see Durham pushing that UWE side as much as they are still into the third quarter is a testament to Durham.
Well, it also is a testament to BUCS deciding to have a national league, because it shows that you want these. That is a false start. That's definitely a flag. Sorry, as we're coming back to this game, I would just say it's absolutely a testament to the National League when it comes to BUCS and their decision to say we don't want to be split north-south, as we hear word from David Hewitt.
False start. Offence number 40. It's a 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
I think there's a little bit of a delay there from David Hewitt as he was just checking back with Loughborough's linebacker Shea Patel, because it was Shea Patel that pointed out the false start first. And so I think David was probably going, yeah, that's fine for Shea. We saw that. You don't need to tell us. You do your job, we'll do ours. That's all good. But anyway, that's now 4th and long, and it's a low snap, fielded very well by McBrien again, and he gets off another good kick. It takes one bounce and then is fielded by Ellis Roth, and Ellis Roth makes one man miss, and the second he heads down the sideline and scoots out of bounds just past midfield into the Leeds bench, where he'll get a very warm welcome.
I love watching Ellis return kicks. It reminds me of, was it Gale Sayers? Give me 18 inches of daylight. You give me 1.5 feet, I'll take a mile. What a return. Made that one-man miss with the hard jab. I am admittedly biased. I coached Ellis over the summer. He's a tremendous player. It's just so fun to watch good kick returners making plays like that. And now Loughborough gets some momentum and also past midfield.
8:31 left in the second quarter here at Loughborough University. And they're set up in good field position. First down, ball handed off. And that's going nowhere. Bailey Mann continued to roll around and try and get a couple of pairs of eyes on him.
That wide run not working too well for Loughborough because Beckett had great pursuit. Both their linebackers getting to the edge and keeping contained on that play.
So this Beckett defense not making things easy at all for Loughborough. 2nd and 13 now. On the Beckett 49-yard line. Twins both sides this time for Loughborough. And man goes to the air, looks for Oluwatisi on that slant again, and he hits him, but a good tackle by Luke Rodriguez. He called his name a number of times, and I tell you what, he's got a job on his hands tonight, covering Oluwatisi.
Yeah, that's not a matchup that anyone probably, well, actually, when you're good defense, you do sign up for it, and he's probably relishing in the chance to go against one of the premier receivers in the UK. As you said, making lots of plays.
3rd and long then for Loughborough. That manages to pick up 5 yards. But they still need a good 8 or so. Probably nearer to 9. Play action once again. He's got a man in the flats. He tries to spin away, but he can't, and he's met by 4 Leeds defenders. And Bailey Mann needed to get rid of that ball sooner. He had a man in the flats who was wide open and could have just dumped it off there, but instead takes a big loss.
When you set up that play like they have, you can go to the well a little too often. One too many times, arguably. You go to the flats, that defensive line knows if that man's motioning this way, I can get into the backfield. He's going to be looking for a certain throw, so I can get into his lane and break up that play.
So, 3 and out again after a good return by Ellis Roth. Loughborough end up losing 5 yards on that 3-play series.
Loughborough seems to have some confusion on their protection.
Low snap, really good pickup again. You've got to give that punter credit. Gets the ball away, it takes a bounce. It's fielded and then smashed into the ground.
Oh, what a tackle. Oh, you love to see it. Who doesn't love a good special teams play? Did we get a number of that bus?
Well, it was Luke Rodriguez who went for a ride on the bus.
I think it might have been Logan Chatterjee, but I'm not sure. who was that? It moved so quickly and then ran off of camera to go back to defense or playing on or going to the sideline. What a play!
I tell you what, let's give that punter credit as well, because that ball skidded right down at his shoelaces and he managed to take it on the half volley and still get a good punt away.
And we saw that. We thought there was confusion for the protection. They must have clarified it because everyone was cleanly blocked on that as well.
First down Leeds then, back to the ground game. Oh, truck stick activated.
Look at some good old physical football, Matt. I mean, you and I are a bit more old school. We love this, cloud of dust and, moving the pile forward and all that jazz. And that's what both these teams are doing quite a bit of. That's a good hit and a good, it's a stalemate, so it's a win for the defense, really.
It is. And it is a stalemate because you can see it's 2nd down and 10. Rashawn Christopher with the carry once again. He's getting a lot of work and he's getting a lot of punishment as well. There's a little bit of room between those two D tackles. Let's see if they can find it. But good penetration again, and Christopher tries to bounce it outside, but he's going nowhere because he's met initially by the huge figure.
Well, they call him Biggs for a reason. Biggs just darted through that offensive line and then looped around to chase down the offensive player, that running back. Biggs had great penetration. He got right through the gap. It's really fun to see a big man move that quickly.
And if you're not familiar with Biggs, that is Biggs, number 79, a.k.a. Michael Ojobo.
Oh, I think everyone in the National League's pretty familiar with Biggs.
Well, you might be watching football for the first time.
That's fair enough. That's fair.
Unless you're a part of Biggs' family. And let's give him a call out, a shout out by his birth name. Michael Ojobo working hard again and pushing his man backwards, making the quarterback roll out of the pocket. How's he holding that football? That scares the life out of me, Sean. When your quarterback's left the pocket and jogging down the sideline, holding that ball like a loaf of bread.
How do you carry loaves of bread, Matt? Because I'd be afraid to lose my groceries. You got to get that ball up. And we did say, Sam, I believe this is Hayes. He's the quarterback in now. They made a mid-season change. He's just got to learn little things like that. Switch the ball from your right to your left. Keep the ball high and tight. We saw that the defense almost forced a fumble. They actually hit the ball, but it just ended up being a dead play.
And to be fair to him, he's doing some good things. He's making the decision to leave the pocket when he should be. He picked up a big 3rd down earlier on in this quarter. And again, he's picked up positive yardage there to bring up 3rd and manageable. Let's see if he can convert this time. You've got to think this ball might be going to his running back again, and now they're looking to see if they've made the D-line jump. Everyone points at each other.
I do think this time the refs are going to side with Beckett. They seem to be leaning in that direction. Now we have a herd of zebras, and Hewitt coming into view, confirming on his radio before speaking with us.
I always like to see which way the players start walking.
Yeah, they kind of know beforehand.
Here we go.
Offside. Defence, multiple players in the neutral zone at the snap. This 5-yard penalty brings up 1st down.
Well, multiple players. So I would say in this case you have to start looking for a fake. If it was 4th and...
that's 1st down, yeah.
1st down, I'm sorry. Our graphic, I believe it. I must have misread it, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's enough for a 1st down now. So you think they're going to stop instead? Now fresh set.
And credit to a young quarterback. Actually using that hard count. Obviously in the hood he's going, boys, do not move. This count's going to be hard. We're going to drag those boys into the neutral zone. And credit to all those Beckett offensive linemen and to Sam Hayes for gaining that 1st down by way of penalty. Ball in the air, complete. Another big receiver. We've got Oluwatosin on one side, and what a spin move. Number 86 that time, Mo Sewell. Here's another big body receiver as he points the way to a 1st down.
I believe that's Mo Sewell coming out of Northants Academy. He's an absolutely tremendous young receiver. I've seen him make many plays. I wouldn't be shocked to see Sewell be a bigger part of their offense throughout the rest of the day.
You can't have people like that playing receiver.
Well, you should see him play running back and everything else. Jet sweep, kick return, receiver. He's a tremendous athlete. And as I can speak from experience, not so fun to face in terms of trying to keep him fully shut down.
This time they looked towards Sewell, but hit a different receiver who's Hayden Pascal. And he picks up yardage from the slot position.
As you might expect, I'm in touch with a lot of coaches because I have players on both teams here for my under-19 team. And I was talking to Coach Mike as soon as they put a graphic up about Sewell, and I said, you guys got him coming up there? You guys are going to have a good day. I remember in his first ever game, he got a touchdown against us. He's a really good receiver. I would just keep feeding that monster.
Well, those who don't know, Sean Endicott, my co-commentator today, is the head coach of the Nottingham Caesars Under-19 programme. Been to numerous national championship finals over the last few years.
Yeah, one on this field that didn't end so well for me, but it's still a fun day out.
Yeah, absolutely. Making a national final, nothing to be sniffed at. That was second down.
Second down, just a ball hit the floor. Hayes is going to calm down and trust his protection and just find these receivers. There's times where they're getting open, you just got to find them in rhythm. Easier said than done.
Absolutely. They converted on third down last time by way of penalty. They're a little bit further away this time than the 5 yards for encroachment, so they're going to have to pick it up through the offense. He rolls, now he steps up. Can he find an escape alley? No, he can't. Goes down under the tackle of 2 Loughborough defenders, led by the charge of Josh Calbeck, number 95.
One thing I'll say about Beckett is the running backs today, I believe every single player who's in running back today has not started a game at running back before. In fact, I'm not sure any of them are listed as running backs. They've done a good job running the ball. I think 6-man pass protection, which has the running back in pass pro, is a skill that you can't pick up quite as quickly as running behind blockers when you're a natural athlete or you've worked hard your whole life to be a good athlete. So pass protection for running back would be a little harder, take a little more time to figure out.
So as our clock is stopped, I believe that is going to be the 2-minute warning. Oh no, timeout Beckett, in fact.
Well, I think they might have just called ref's time, but we'll see what they say here.
Timeout. Leeds Beckett, first charge timeout the half.
You fooled me.
2 seconds, 2 minutes and 2 seconds in the quarter.
Oh, so they wanted to call a timeout before the 2-minute warning. Well, no, because it's going to stop at 2 minutes on the change of possession anyway, so.
That's interesting.
Maybe they just didn't like something, their blocking might have been off, or they had someone in a bad position.
And remember, this is a pivotal time in the game, 6-3. Loughborough won the toss and chose to defer, so they will get the ball first in the second half, which really means now they've got 2 possessions, to try and extend the lead at the end of the first and then double up at the beginning of the second half.
If we weren't in the middle of a monsoon, I'd predict some deep passes from Bailey Mann. I'm not sure that's the best play call given the weather, but we'll see.
Nice snap, nice kick again.
Another good kick.
And Ellis Roth's going to let that one bounce into the end zone, is it? Oh, just about.
If that bounces a little differently or hits maybe a wet patch on the ground, it's set down at the 1, but instead it's a touchback.
Roth seemed ever so confident all the way through. He knows the bounce of his own field.
Well, he does catch a lot of punts in that end zone.
So here we go then, 1:55 remaining. That will be the 2-minute warning. Here's referee.
And it's a 2-minute warning, 1 minute 54 remaining. Both teams have 2 timeouts.
Okay, so 2 timeouts left for both teams. Loughborough going to start with it on their 20. 75 yards to pay dirt, remember, or rather 70 yards to pay dirt. This is a 90-yard field. Let's see what Coach Hilton draws up. Trips to the right on first down. He's going to the air. You said about going deep. Here we go, over the top, looking for Ola Watterson, and is that intercepted? It is! Luke Rodrigues! We've called his name so often. And once again, we talked about going to the well with the run game of Beckett. Has Loughborough gone to the well one too many times trying to get that football to Oluwatosin? And now Luke Rodrigues comes up with an athletic play, and Beckett have a chance. Have a look at this shot.
Yeah, if you're Bailey Mann, you got to understand the downs and timing here. It's only 1st and 10. If you have the man, you can get him there, throw it. It's just underthrown ball, actually. I was looking on the replay. Oluwatosin was open. The ball just went a bit short. Hard to say if it slipped out of his hand or if it just got caught in the rain or just a plain underthrow. And now Beckett, with 2 timeouts left, still has 1:45 to try to get some points on the board.
It looked like Rodrigues was just trying to bat that ball down initially, but then it kind of just stuck. As Beckett, obviously that one was looking to try and go downfield, was Gabriel Whitehead, but it was really well covered by the secondary of Loughborough University, so he had to tuck it and run.
Yeah, Josh Calbeck looping his way back from the front to make that play. Hayes has to be careful. It looked like he slowed down and was very vertical. That's a good way to get yourself hurt. If you're going down, you got to go down either hitting somebody or go down early enough where they don't hit you. But he did gain some yards, so it's right at midfield.
Picked up 4 yards on first down. Ball hands off this time, looking to try and get it round the left-hand edge, but great lateral pursuit that time. That's number 36, I believe, on the tackle by Loughborough.
Unfortunately, I believe he is hurt. That's Nathan Williams. Nathan's a really big, tall athlete, did a great job fighting off a block and then keeping contained on that wide run. That's exactly what you want from your edge player. Unfortunately for him, an injury is not what you want.
Timeout, Leeds Beckett. It's their second charge time out of the half. 1 minute, 2 seconds remaining.
We also had big number 32 for Leeds, Rashawn Christopher. Looked like he was dealing with a little bit of cramp on the sideline there as well, getting stretched off by his teammates. And Leeds take time out at midfield, 3rd and 6. What's going on with UE and Durham, Sean?
Well, I'm sure we can catch you up more as we get into halftime here, but UE's up 20-14 and has the ball right now. A big sack, I believe, by Durham just now.
Yeah, that quarterback looks like he's stayed down as well, Sean, in that other game. But anyway,
I feel like I'm watching. It's like what's this? It's a Saturday afternoon,
multi-screen,
and we have multi-screen going on. Obviously, everyone's first choice is going to be here.
Timeout, Loughborough. Second charge time out of the half. Still 1 minute, 2 seconds.
So you keep us on the screen on your big telly, and then you have maybe a phone or a tablet or something trying to get it somewhere else. And but no, we'll let you watch that stream as your secondary. That's fine. We love watching. We love promoting the game. We'll cover that more at half. But let's focus on this game right now. Loughborough calling timeouts. Looks like they might want the ball back.
Well, that was interesting because Beckett had just called that timeout and then come back to the middle. And Loughborough mustn't have liked what they saw because immediately called a timeout themselves. As Coach Ripley on the Leeds Beckett sideline now tries to get his personnel right on this big 3rd down play with 1 minute and 3 left in the first half.
Yeah, it's been an interesting last few minutes of this game. It's kind of back and forth. No scores, but just lots of ball movement.
What's the weather look like in that other game? Are they faring better than us?
It's been little weather. The weather is a bit better down south. I will say that.
So here we go then. 3rd down, right on the midfield stripe. 3rd and 6. Going to the air. He's got time. Now throws off his back foot, and that's dangerous, and that's picked. And that's the man we've been calling all morning, all afternoon rather. It's Zeb Stewart Harris. And unfortunately, young quarterback
Hayes.
Yeah, Gabriel. Oh, sorry. Yes, you're right. Sam Hayes, that young quarterback, threw off that back foot, and in these conditions, you can't afford to do that at the best of time, let alone when the wind is like it is here, hanging that ball up. Sorry, Sean.
No, sorry for talking over you. We're only just about halftime, but you got to say, Stewart Harris is the man of the match on defense. He is all over the place, tackling, hitting, running, and then here you just get, as you said, it's too high in the air, underthrows it, gets not just the interception, but a nice return to set Loughborough up just about where Oliver Towson would have caught that ball if it was thrown to him before. So they are now past midfield, and that timeout turns out to be a good investment on Loughborough's side because they now have a minute to try to score.
Yeah, interesting. I like the way you've kind of read that. You're right. It's exactly more or less where Luke Rodriguez picked off Loughborough around about 3 minutes ago. So we can kind of go, let's forget that last 3 minutes, and as you were with 54 seconds to go. Let's see whether Loughborough can take advantage going into half-time. What would you be rather doing on a Saturday evening than watching Loughborough University against Leeds Beckett here with BUCS in this National Premier League encounter?
Doing the same thing but with a hot chocolate would be pretty good. I might get one at halftime.
We'll see what we can. There must be some decent facilities here at Loughborough.
Yeah, Hollowell Sports Fitness Centre is very nice.
Depends whether our director gets us any time off or whether we're just talking through highlights.
Come on.
Let's see. I wonder. Let's have a quick
press
word
a button there. Get us some hot chocolate at the half. Oh, look at, you know who might need some hot beverages right now are the players and coaches that are on the field. If you've never played in a game like this, it's difficult to describe how just miserable weather-wise it can be. But back to field play, trips to the top of your screen.
Going aggressive again, and that's almost picked off, is it? Oh, so close again. Some risky throws, and it's that man again, Rodriguez. Johnny on the spot all the time so far.
I think there was a man open in the flat. If you look, 85 streaking towards the sideline. Could have got a few yards there. Miscommunication perhaps on where to throw this. I would also point out that these American footballs, I think they have to be about 15 ounces by regulations, but when that's dry. And when you start getting in here, you get several, or if you want to go to metric, several grams more throughout the game. That ball is significantly heavier than at the start of this game. So both these quarterbacks now underthrowing passes.
Well, not only the ball, but your uniform becomes heavier as well.
Yeah.
You know, as an athlete, as we get motion again, and going up top again, looking for the haymaker, and that one's underthrown.
Yeah, Aluatasan looking for a flag, but I think they would have said that was uncatchable anyway.
I like the aggression from Coach Hilton and Loughborough, but how sensible it is at this stage in a 6-3 ball game, I'm not quite so sure. So third down upcoming, still 42 seconds remaining. Will Leeds get another shot?
For our metric, folks, it's about 400 grams. I just had to look that up. It was giving me, I was being driven nuts. It is about 15 ounces.
For our metric, folks.
Hey, you know what? We're in the UK.
I was going to say, you mean the British people.
It's everything. It's kind of split here. We can have some European audiences.
Here we go then, third down.
Oh, no.
Pressure, he escapes. Man rolls to his left, and now he's dragged down for a loss of 3. Great work again by that Beckett defense, and one of the defenders there is the running back, Rashawn Christopher, from his free safety spot, along with number 93. Let's see if we can get a name for you for him, because he deserves some credit for that play.
All over the field were the Beckett defense, and now it's 4th and 12, and Loughborough is going to have to punt it.
Loughborough, third and final timeout, 32 seconds remaining, 32.
It's an interesting call to call a timeout there. I would have at least forced Beckett to call their final timeout. But you know, after a sack, maybe you just want to kind of gather the troops and get things going smoothly. They are leaving their offense on the field, actually, so that explains the timeout. They want their exact play, know what we want to do, let's get some coordination. And you have to wonder, are they going to go back to the same things with the jet motion, setting up this flood concept? Or maybe it's time to change pace and try something you haven't done so far in the game.
I'm devastated to say that we do not have a number 93 on our roster, but who we do have is Iman Aghorigor, and he plays left end. And Coach Ripley at the start said, let's call his name, yeah, man going down again, and this time man takes off, and the ball's out! The ball is fumbled, and it is picked up by Beckett, and that couldn't have gone worse for Loughborough rather, Sean.
Well, and man looks like he's limping a little bit as well. Got hit on the left ankle, perhaps. Oddly enough, because of the fumble after the scramble, Leeds Beckett actually lost about 3 yards, as if that was an incompletion, but I'm sure they're just happy to get the ball. As we see, man, as we watch, he tries to scramble around a little bit, just gets penetration around the edge, steps up in the pocket and just can't get it. Empty hand means it's a fumble because the ball wasn't moving forward out of his hand, and Beckett recovers that. It's a bit of a shame. It's a bunch of almosts. Really good penetration by number 53. My goodness. Can we get a number for Loughborough's 53? That is Arafat Sadiq. He shot out like a gun. He looked like Micah Parsons on that play. It was unbelievable how well he timed that snap. That was really something.
16 seconds left then. Beckett taking their last time out.
When you're an offense...
Timeout, Leeds Beckett. Third and final timeout of the half. 16 seconds remaining.
Sorry, Mr. Pruitt. When you're an offensive lineman, you can deal with power, you can deal with violence, but one of the things that's so difficult to deal with is speed. And when you combine that with a well-timed assumption of when that snap's going to be, pretty much unblockable. That was a tremendous play.
Trips at the top of the screen. Big Mosul is in that trips formation. There's only 2 defenders out there as well. What can they do here? Pressure coming again, and he tries to tuck that ball, but he's going to just jog out of bounds, and actually that will stop the clock. So third down upcoming.
Yeah, you got to live to fight another play. He's just trying to set up probably a heave. I'm not sure the range here with this rain and how heavy the ball is going to be. I would be hard-pressed to see if anyone on this pitch could throw the ball more than 45 yards. With this rain and the balls being weighed down, even if you gave them all the time in the world, I don't think they could throw it this length. But, hey, it could always be proven wrong. So here we have, they're looking at that trips formation. Again, solo receiver. That's Sewell at the bottom of your screen trying to line up in one-on-one coverage.
So here we go then, third down. Oh, back foot throw again, and that was risky. Incomplete, and that does stop the clock once again.
I think Matt, that there's a chance that Loughborough has cracked the snap count of Beckett. They must be going on the same thing every time, because we've now seen 2 out of 3 plays where it was absolutely perfectly timed by these edge players. And I wonder if they've either gotten a tell by one of the players, like they studied their footwork or something, or maybe you just noticed, hey, they always go on 1 or 2. Something's happening, I believe. I'd keep an eye out for that trend and see if it happens on this last play.
So you've got to give this young Leeds Beckett team all the credit in the world. 6-3 down, away from home, torrential conditions. As we've said, a young team looking to try and make a mark.
I think you're going to have a delay of game.
Yeah, I think you are.
Delay of game. Offence. Number 8. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
I'd be tempted now, if I was Coach Ripley, to kind of cut my losses, take a knee, go to the locker room and regroup.
I have to think that a pick 6 is just as likely as a 65-yard throw in these conditions. So I would be tempted to say the same thing. They might have some sort of underneath throw, a screen pass, a little shallow with some blocking downfield. Or maybe they watch the NFL and they could try a hook and ladder play.
I was thinking exactly the same. The Josh Allen Bills 4th and 27 conversion from Thursday night, even though the Bills ended up losing that one. But here we go. Like you say, good penetration again on the snap, and that one is complete. But that will end the half right there.
Well, let's see what they say. Our clock's unofficial. There were 2 seconds on the clock when that play ended.
Yeah, but the clock, it was complete, so...
Yeah, they're going to say that's the half. Oh, would have been a 4th down, would have been
That is the end of the first half.
So there we go. That is the end of the first half here at Loughborough University. The score 6-3, and a very entertaining first half, Sean.
Yeah, we saw 2 early scores, touchdown for Loughborough, and then we saw that long field goal by Leeds Beckett to get us to where we are on the scoreboard, and a lot of really good defensive plays. We've seen both these teams try different things when it comes to offense. So a little bit of passing, a little bit of run game, and then some good adjustments on both halves. I do think the weather conditions are starting to take a toll as we alternate through these highlights. Loughborough got onto the board quickly with a run up the middle, breaking a tackle, and putting up 6 to start things off on their opening drive by Zaremski with the opening score of this game to kick us off 6-0.
Yeah, and then McBrien stepped up in these treacherous conditions and drilled a field goal pretty much the same length of his jersey number, a 45-yarder. And even though there wasn't a lot of scoring, we did see highlights.
Yeah, so we had a really nice play. Bailey Mann getting downfield, throwing it here, and a nice play, though, by the defense. That was Luke Rodriguez, who we've had throughout the day making plays, getting an excellent interception to try to get the ball back for for Beckett.
And then anything you can do, I can do better. As that man in the middle, we've caught his name a few times from his safety position. Zev Stewart Harris comes up and makes the pick. And you thought then Loughborough were going to be in business. But Bailey Mann, he tried to get things going, and unfortunately, Sean couldn't quite get things moving.
Pressure around the edge, and then good push and trace back by the defensive line to force a fumble. Gave Beckett the ball just before the half, though they ultimately ended up not getting any points or major gains after this point. So that's how we've ended up here, 6-3 in favor of Loughborough on a very, very rainy day.
And what started out to be a pretty nice game, we had long sustained drives by both teams, has ended up being a bit scrappy, as you might expect, as the weather conditions continue to drench this Loughborough field. We're going to go and get dried off, we're going to grab that hot chocolate, and we'll be back not so very long for that second half. We'll see you soon.
It's a dangerous show. Leave it all on the floor, let's roll. History's made by the bold and the brave, and the chances you take, let's roll. Everybody stand up, come together. Now it's time to let the whole world know. Here we come, rapping ready to run. Till the battle is won, let's go. Stomp your feet, shake the stands, make some noise. This go. Stomp your feet, shake the stands, make some noise. This is your chance. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. Clap your hands.
Welcome everybody to BUCS Super Rugby. That's right, the best leagues in the land are back. We are back for our 10th season. 2016, what was happening back then? Donald Trump, first time he got elected president. Stranger Things was first aired. Taylor Swift and Calvin Harris were dating. Well, not everything stands the test of time, but one thing that does is this very league here. This is what it's all about, BUCS Super Rugby, where the best university leagues in the land battle it out for cup glory. Is there enough dead ball, Aaron? You betcha! Go storming on, dragging red jerseys. Dab through once again. Perfection.
Smart little nudge to keep the foot race going. A little snipe, they're over the line, it is grounded by Grace White. This time, interception, here we go! Dylan Scott onto the poles, and Cardiff Met are going to be in touch as the whistle goes.
Wednesday nights, where else would you be? BUCS Super Rugby with us on the live stream or here in person, the best league in the land. See you next time.
Over the next 11 days of competition, over 2,100 medals will be handed out across 234 events, held across 18 sports, held in 5 different cities.
I wish I could swim.
Next out is the Great Britain and Northern Ireland team. Strong record of appearances at the FISU Summer Games. The team are around 130, looking to add to the medal haul, which currently stands at 293.
Nothing keep us together. Yeah, we can be there forever, ever.
I declare
'Cause we can be
the Rhine-Ruhr 2025 FISU World University Games open!
I can remember standing by the wall, and the guns shout above our heads, and we kissed as though nothing could fall, and the shame was on the other side. Oh, we can be there, oh, forever and ever. Then we can be heroes, oh, just for one day. We can be heroes. We can be heroes. We can be heroes just for one day. We can be heroes. I was in the darkness, heartless, left for dead, long forgotten. Something was pushing me, pulling me straight down to the bottom. Then I came alive, I walked through the fire, my mind turned the embers to red. Got caught in the deep, but I calmed the seas, and I'll never be the same. Only thing that When you've been to hell and back, you're swearing that you'll never take what you got for granted. Rising from the rubble, struggle, I'm gonna be the last one standing. It runs through my blood, I've just begun to see I'm the one, I'm the chosen. The power inside is starting to rise. I know I was made for this moment. Only thing that I can say is I was meant for this, and I'll never second guess it. Fight till my last breath, 'cause I was born to be a legend. When the battle is raging, the blood in the fight, sacrifice that is made, and the reason we never stop till we make history. Oh, oh, oh. I put it all on the line and I made it, reminded of why when I look in your eyes. I wish I could stay, but I'm destined for so much more, 'cause I was born to be a legend. Oh, born to be a legend.
And welcome back to Loughborough University. We've had a good old hot chocolate, a little wander round. There's a significant amount of people here still braving the elements in this 6-3 low-scoring, hard-fought affair.
I saw a lot of players in Holywell Fitness Center trying to warm up their hands, putting their hands under the hair dryer, that sort of thing, trying to get a little warm, a little dry. It is quite cold, and we're starting to see. You can see them on the sidelines. It's just every jersey's dripping wet and weighed down, and it's quite interesting to see how the weather's affecting this game.
Well, even the zebras were huddled in the leisure centre reception.
Yeah, I don't know if they were huddled. They were quite comfortable.
Yeah.
I think there's, rightfully so, a table that I think they kind of had, and I think every single referee and official was there because they're in their elements, and they're not running around. They run around, obviously, some amount because they're refs. You actually move quite a bit more than you expect when you're an official, but they're not on the field playing, which is a way to heat up.
So then, as we prepare to get this one back underway, and if you are just joining us, Loughborough won the toss, elected to defer, so they're going to get the ball in the second half to begin with. And really, Sean, this could go either way, couldn't it? We expected, I know you and I were talking off camera, and we were kind of thinking, well, it's a young Leeds outfit, they're coming down, they're away from home against the Loughborough team led by Martin Hilton, all his experience. This could be really one-sided, but actually it's turned out quite the opposite.
Yeah, it's a lot closer than I expected. Obviously, I know both these teams are putting in the effort. I did think the experience would come into a factor. We've seen a bit of an equalizing factor with the weather, but we've also seen really good play from both sides, including Beckett, and they've done a good job as we see this kickoff.
Yeah, second half is underway, and that's going to drift through the end zone. And Loughborough and quarterback Bailey Mann will start their second half. Just an apology to make. Been calling the wrong name for one of the Leeds players. Number 32, who's been getting a lot of the carries, is actually Cheyenne Lecour.
What a cool name.
Absolutely. So Cheyenne Lecour did some good work in the first half, and I'm sure we'll see that continue in the second half. Again, apologies for any upset we may have caused by that. Obviously, we're giving the roster and we do our very best to try and get these names right.
It's also hard because, and I've been a coach on game day, people change jerseys, something doesn't fit, something has to get changed last minute. People are arguing over who gets number 1, and then someone else agrees to get something else. In any event, here we have Bailey Man back in at quarterback, and he's got a handoff and a nice little run. Look at this seam up the middle. A good cut. He went and saw a crowd of people, said, I'm going to go the other way, and that was a wise decision. That's, oh my goodness here. I can't see.
Oh, yeah, Balogun.
I had to bend over to get that. Good job, Balogun. That's a really good run.
Yeah, we called his name a couple of times in the first half. He picked up some good yardage and then kind of went backwards a little bit, but a nice start on first down with a pickup of 9 yards for Balogun. And that gets this Loughborough offense going up to nearly the 35-yard line, trips to the right. Now man comes in motion and Bailey Man drifts the ball out to that motion guy, but well covered by Leeds defenders. Is he going to get that first down? Hard to tell from here. We'll wait for the officials.
I think he gained just enough for the first down. Oluwatassim was stuck between a rock and a hard place. He had 2 people to try to block and kind of tried to do both. The general advice would be just pick one. But it's it's a little hard when you get 2 people running at your teammate. Regardless, Loughborough did enough to get a first down, and they did another one of those kind of a blast motion with a bluff. A bluff motion is what they call it. Looks like you're going to blast someone with a kick out off like a jet. Instead, you get the guy. Looks like he's going to block and then goes into the flat. They've set that up throughout the day.
Here's motion again from Ellis Roth this time. Ball handed off again. And well defended once more by Leeds in that defensive front. Balogun got the carry.
And that's number 50 for Beckett. Did a really good job driving his feet and just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. That's Jack Marsland. There seems to be quite a bit of noise from these. There's more fans than you would expect. They kind of stood outside the cage, and they're really weathering the elements to watch these teams.
I'll tell you what, Sean, you're a student, you're at Loughborough University, it's Saturday night. What are you going to do? You're going to come and watch some football, then you're going to go out and party.
Exactly. Yes, we all know Loughborough is known for its nightlife. Yes.
I just want to add, I did not make any comment about Loughborough's nightlife. As we look at this second down play, 2nd and 12, going to the this time is
oh my goodness,
in and out of their hands, and he really fired that one in. He's looking for,
I think that's Scott again, isn't it?
Receiver Toby Scott.
Yeah, Scott, if he had caught that, would have been decapitated. So I think it's probably a good thing that he didn't, at least from a safety perspective. I do think Beckett's defense has done a really good job sniffing out the most common plays of the Loughborough offense and having people in the right position to make plays. Now, obviously, you still have to execute, but early in the game, you saw open people, broken plays, receivers getting open. Now there's at least a defender nearby every time.
3rd and 11 to the air again, over the top, and he's got it! Oh, my goodness me! Toby Scott had daylight in front of him, and that ball just slipped through his hands, Sean.
I think my broadcasting career almost ended because just as I said, there was always a defender in the right spot. Toby Scott streaked downfield, completely uncovered, and then just dropped what should have been a touchdown. I don't think he would have got caught by anyone if he had just made that catch.
Oh, and you can't ask for your quarterback to do any more. Bailey Man put it right on his man. And Toby Scott just had to reel that one in under the lights of this Loughborough University Holywell Arena.
That's a good snap, nice clean punt. And this is a nice kick.
Beautiful kick, well fielded as well. And it's that man, we called his name a number of times, Luke Rodriguez, in the first half. He's had receptions, he's had interceptions, he's had big tackles, and now he's had a punt return.
Zaremski for Loughborough did a really good job forcing the Beckett returner to make a decision and have to turn upfield instead of getting the edge, and that allowed for some help to get there. Zaremski didn't get the tackle, but it's still a really good play by him to make that. Sometimes when you're on special teams, it's about steering people in the right direction so the other teammates can make plays.
Love me some Ironman football as well.
Yeah, I gotta love people play 2 ways.
Playing 3 ways now.
3 phases, yeah.
Rodriguez, DB, receiver, and punt returner. Ball handed off on first down. Carries that ball high and tight. Does Liqueur. And he picks up a couple.
Stuart Harris again on the tackle. For those who didn't see us in the first half, Stuart Harris is having himself a day. He's had an interception. He's had a bunch of tackles. He's in the run game. He's in the pass game. And he's got 2 names. I mean, it's just a good day overall. Absolutely. From Mr. Stuart Harris.
Yeah, Zev Stuart Harris playing that safety position Made a number of plays in the backfield as well. That's not easy to do when you're starting 7 or 8 yards away from the line of scrimmage.
Here's LaCour. Let's see how he goes down on this run, if it's up the middle or out wide. No, it's a pass.
Going to that big-bodied receiver who they favoured in the first half as well.
Yeah, that's Sewell. He's, as you said, that big-bodied receiver, but Loughborough, I think, snuffed that play out pretty quick, knew that's where that ball was going.
That's going to bring up third down. And I think, like you said, now that these guys have faced each other for a half, I think they're almost getting used to the tendencies.
Yeah, it's like boxers. You feel each other out for a few rounds, and then all of a sudden it's really more who can hit the hardest. You kind of know what's coming.
Well, and Loughborough tried to deliver that haymaker over the top to Scott, and it looks like Hayes may have got the defense to jump.
That's not going to be a penalty. No, it's not, because the defense got back. The offense has to understand that if the defense jumps, you need to get your hand on them, or the center needs to snap the ball, because the defense got back and then everything was reset. No penalty. That's, again, talk about young players. If you're the Beckett center, you're the Beckett right tackle, you got to understand if the other team jumps, you can punish them for it and get some free yards. And you have to make it obvious, you have to do it quick.
Yeah, good call, good analysis, great explanation of why that wasn't a penalty against the Loughborough defense there.
Almost shocking, though, got to admit, seeing offensive linemen not jump when a defender goes off sides. It's very rare. Good discipline, I suppose. That's at least for initially.
Punting situation. Another low snap. But he's got that one away brilliantly again. This time Roth is going to field it. And he now turns on the Jets. Can he get past the man? He can. He's in open field at the 50, at the 40, and then slammed down. And I think that's the... Or was that I thought it was the punter who brought him down, but a great tackle. Look at the acceleration from Roth, though.
We talked about this. Roth, he's Gale Sayers incarnate when he's on a punter kick return. He needs 18 inches of daylight, and he can make some plays. He outsped the defender, got to the outside, cut up field, and for the second time this game, he's given good field position to the Loughborough American football team.
Can they take advantage? They've been knocking on the door for so long.
It's been I don't think we've seen a throw to Roth in a while, so it might be time to see if he's on a hot streak.
So he's going to the air, and penetration, steps up into the pocket. Now he's going to have to tuck the ball and run. Can he get anything from it?
Oh my goodness, that's got to be a flag.
There it is.
Yeah. He was actually, I think he was looking Roth's way. He certainly was looking to the right of the field, but as you called accurately, defensive line of Beckett got through that O-line. Man did a good job to scramble out. And now for Beckett's defense, all that penetration's for naught because it's 15 yards.
Freddie,
assuming we've read this penalty correctly.
Well, here's referee Hewitt.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defence number 53. It's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
And to be fair, Freddie Loach had done the hard work. He'd managed to get Bailey Mann out of bounds and then just let him go. You don't need to slam him to the ground.
Young players often struggle to understand what is a victory on a rep. You see defensive linemen think the only good rep is if they hit the quarterback. You see players like that think it's only a win if you make a big hit. Sometimes it's just doing your job. And when you don't do your job, you end up trying to do someone else's or do something you're not supposed to.
First down, Loughborough. Ball handed off. Oh, nice jump cut out of the backfield, but an equally great tackle.
Yeah, it's a really good job by the defensive edge player for Beckett. It looked like we might have seen a big run by Loughborough. He was one-on-one in the open field, and Beckett just shut that down.
And I thought for a moment Finley Barracliff, the running back for Loughborough, may have got himself a big piece of real estate, but like you said, great open field tackle, hanging onto the ankles. Brings up 2nd and 10.
We have seen some big plays in this game, getting the ball into the hands of Josh Oluwatassin, short yardage, and then letting him make plays downfield. I would be tempted to look at that with how the rain's affecting us.
Fumble, ball's on the floor. I think Mann has managed to get on it, and that was as a result of the fake handoff. Just caught the hip of his fullback, I believe.
Yeah, it just looked like it bumped into him a little. You got to be on the same page. You always got to rep the basics, handoffs and fakes. Make sure you get the mesh point in the same spot every time. It's now 3rd and 12. They're bringing in some height. Yeah, we can see, just hit the hip of that fullback, and I just wonder if that specific personnel combination has done that play enough to know the spacing.
If you're not overly au fait with American football, it is, like you said, Sean, it's about repping, making sure you know where to go on every play, and that spacing idea 11 people doing their job, all in sync. And a great penetrative run that time by the Beckett defender, Tom York-Robinson.
I'm going to take a guess that was an RPO where man had the option either hand it off or throw that quick little pass over the middle. And you think you've done your job correctly because man did make the read and he did throw where it should have gone, except the defensive player is about 6'4" and has his arms up in the air. And you don't always expect that. You kind of assume I've made the right read, I'm making the quick throw, it's going to get to my receiver. And because you're reading linebackers usually instead of D-line. It depends on the play call, of course, but I think in that particular case, the D-line surprised man. And now we're having another deep, look at this field goal attempt, very long.
Yeah, it's going to be almost from where that holder is, it's going to be almost like a 42-yarder.
That's off the ground, he's going to have to run for it. Let's see if he can get something in the open field, and he cannot.
Special teams reps again, costing points. Ben Blumberg had to just took that one and run and try and make up what he could, and still Leeds Beckett won't go away. 6-3, 30-yard line, first down Beckett.
With how number 50's been playing, if I'm Loughborough, I'm flagging up to the ref that 50's jersey's ripped, seeing if you can make that guy sit out a drive or two. He's having himself a day.
So first down then, Beckett. Sam Hayes still at quarterback. 3 receivers. See whether they go ground or air. They go ground up the middle again, and
oh my!
Oh, the ball's out.
I think they're going to say he was down, but
who's there again? Look.
Yeah, that's Biggs for you. Another big play. That's big number 79, Ajobo. He was there with some teammates making that.
I'm not sure why anybody would want to play running back, you know.
Well, not when you got to go against guys like that. I will say, Beckett's they needed some sort of check. If the defensive edge player is inside the tackle, running it right up the gut's probably not going to work. And if you look at this alignment right now, look where the edge player is. You got to think a wide run's more likely than a up the gut run. Here's Sewell again, shrugging off defenders.
Ball is
out this time, and this time it is an actual fumble, and it looks like Loughborough might have it.
I think you're right. Let's see. And no. Fortunately, I think, number 56 for Beckett jumped on
Beckett.
that.
Good on you, Beckett. It's number 56. Who's that?
Bryce May.
Good job,
center.
Mr. May. The center, man. You think of it, you throw a screen pass out, and the center's the one who recovers the fumble. That's some good effort.
Brings up 3rd and long. Oh, I just got a waft of some food, Sean.
Oh, I'm sorry, mate. I don't have anything for you. I just got a drink.
Whatever.
Are you sure it's not my aftershave?
Oh, I think it's our director. Our director.
That's just mean.
There's
a big bowl of pasta here. That's just rude.
Director's carbo loading. Put the kettle on, boiling the pasta up.
You couldn't have done that at halftime.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's get back to the meat and potatoes. That is this game's offense up the gut, or is it a pass this time?
It's a 3rd down pass, and he's going up top, and he's got a man out there, but it is. Is it Rodriguez? Ball is on the floor. He had an opportunity, but the defender there, Marcus Bailey, it was man and ball, jump ball, and Rodriguez is losing a lot on height to that defender and couldn't come down with it. But Leeds Beckett still being aggressive.
Yeah, I think Beckett's they made the right read, and the safety of Loughborough, I'm pretty sure Bailey was in at corner on that play. I'd have to check, to be honest with you, but he came back and did a really good job recovering that, because I think there was a spot to make that completion, and Bailey shut it down pretty quickly because it was a bit underthrown.
And I think that's the problem, isn't it, at the moment? These quarterbacks both don't seem to, whether it's the weight of the ball due to the weather, like you say, or whether Sam Hayes with a little bit of an experience, the balls are floating. They're not really being driven to the receiver. But it's hard in these conditions, regardless of your age and experience. A good snap this time. Punt is up off the side of the foot again. And that takes a bounce inside the 40 down to around the 32-yard line.
Hey, if I was Beckett, I wouldn't punt it anywhere near Roth either. Every time he gets the ball into his hands, there's a chance of him making a big play. So kicking it off to the side a little bit, it's a pretty smart play.
So what's upcoming for these two university outfits then? I've mentioned in the first half, the next game up for Loughborough is a visit to UWE down in the West Country. And then the day after that, Leeds Beckett host Nottingham Gold, top of the tree Nottingham Gold. That's next Saturday and Sunday. That UWE Durham game is now complete, I believe.
Yeah, it is final. UE won 28-17, so now they've bounced back, and they now have a victory. For them, there's another bluff play, and this time they threw it to the bluff, but they threw it too high, Mr. Man. You got to keep that pass low. That's a pick six the other way if the defense reads it better.
Trying to get that football to Ellis Roth. We've seen how dangerous he can be in open field. But that, going back to that UWE Durham game, competitive. No blowout again. You know, Durham are not far behind.
Yeah, I think when you're looking at it from a BUCS perspective, you really want the national Prem to be competitive. And now we've seen UE and UON and Durham all compete with each other, and this is a close game here, still within the national Prem as well. As we see a run up the middle, a truck stick, looked like he was going to break that out open, but 53 did a good job trace and retrace when it comes to the defensive line play.
Yeah, Balogun, the runner. And then on the tackle was Freddie Loach, guilty of that personal foul in the previous drive, making good on that particular effort.
There's little things that you can do as a player that prove that you care about team success. And one of those is when you're a defensive lineman and the play goes past you, turning around and chasing it down. It's really easy to just assume it's somebody else's job, but you're putting in a lot of effort to make that play, and that's what we saw with Roach.
Here we go then, third down, ball in the air again. He's got a man in triple coverage, and that's in and out of the hands of... Is that Ola Watterson there?
Yeah, Ola Watterson, and he had three defenders around him. There seemed to be a chance he could have made that play, but Beckett's number 80 broke that up. That's a really good job by the defense.
We've got to start thinking a little bit later about MVPs, and at the moment, to tell you what, Beckett's number 80, Luke Rodriguez, high on that list.
Yeah, I think he's done a good job. We've seen interceptions, some pass breakups, and quite a few tackles. I think Loughborough is either waiting a play call or they're missing a player.
Let's count the hats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I think there you go.
There he is. Yep. I think Ola Watterson was down. No, here
missing
we go.
two.
You might want to call a timeout, folks, because you're going to get a delay game pretty soon.
All sorts of confusion.
The referees probably already told them less than 10 seconds.
And how they've managed to get that play off without a flag, I have no idea, but a good high hanging kick again, fielded by that man Rodriguez, and he heads off down the sideline into the Loughborough bench. Greets the men with the white hats.
Yeah, a few Loughborough guys giving them a how do you do, and a little bit of I'm doing well, thanks for asking.
And he continues to chat. Maybe exchanging email addresses.
So, hey, how's it going? I heard Loughborough's nightlife is really good. Where are we going after the game?
I tell you what, it's not as good as Leeds. Leeds is up there as far as nightlife goes.
There you go.
Allegedly.
Hey, you know, a book stop, go to a little cafe. There's all sorts of options.
Here we go then, first down, Leeds still 3 points adrift, which is nothing on a night like tonight where this could go either way. And so far, nobody really wanting to take control of this. Big pressure from the edge, and the ball's on the floor again!
Looks like 36 has it for Loughborough.
It does indeed.
Yeah, I think that's him. That's Nathan Williams. We talked about Nathan earlier in this game. He's big, long, athletic, and he did a really good job getting on top of that ball.
Look at and it's Nathan Williams who gets the jump from the edge as well. Bottom of your screen, number 36. You see how quickly he gets around the right tackle. And he just sort of swims round him, forces him up, and actually that pressure forces Hayes to cough the ball up as he tries to step up into the pocket.
Yeah, I'd almost say Nathan's biggest accomplishment there was just continuing to look for the ball because the quarterback bumped into somebody else. It wasn't like a strip sack. But Williams did a good job to actually make the recovery. Now Loughborough in good field position again.
And then you don't want to know what goes on at the bottom of a pile like that. But Hayes came up with the ball. Did number 36 Nathan Williams. Is a good run on first down.
Oh, that's a bit of a late hit by Beckett's 93. A little tied up, but let's focus on Loughborough. That was a really good run. I believe 31 was in at running back. Who is that?
Number 31, we've got Jack Humphrey.
Jack Humphrey did a really good job because he was met at the line of scrimmage and then drove the pile forward pretty much by himself for the first few yards, and then got a little bit of help to make it 2nd and 5 or 2nd and 6.
So here we go again. I think it might be 37 actually back there. Might be wrong. Yeah, I think it's Finley Barraclough running back, 37.
I think Ruff's drawing double coverage here at the top of your screen, so you're going to see a pass the other way, and that's hit the ref.
Tipped at the line first, then into the ref.
So that's hit everyone except the Loughborough receiver.
Yeah, it looked like Ruff at the top of the screen there either had single man-to-man coverage, or like you say, maybe drawing double coverage from the safety.
I think the safety was going over the top and helping that way, which means that exactly where they threw it is the right spot. It just, you got to get it over the D-line and obviously not hit the ref, but it was bad at first. But yeah, if Ruff is drawing double coverage on one side, so you see on the left side of your screen right now, this safety is shifting over, and then there's a corner over him as well. If he's drawing two, somebody else is going to be able to find something.
Here's the motion. So here's his own coverage as the motion man is dropped, and great defense again, and Bailey Mann had nowhere to go, and this Beckett defense continues to keep the team in the game.
Yeah, if you're going to have a longer developing pass play like that, you have to have better pass protection. Man dropped back, and by the time he put his right foot into the ground, he was already having to scramble.
Jack Marsland comes up limping there. He's put a lot of work in as the D tackle
I
for
think they're
Leeds.
going to go for it here. I would. I mean, it's 4th and long, but you're not going to kick a 50-yard field goal or a 46 or whatever yard field goal, and you're not going to punt it and gain maybe 10 if it's a touchback. It's probably worth going for it here.
It's 4th and 13.
I would try to sell the deep pass and then throw a crossing route. You don't have to get this all at once. 13 yards isn't as many as you think.
Depends on what. And now that is now a delay of game penalty against Loughborough, and that probably will make them punt.
Yeah,
Delay of game. Offense number 10. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Well, that'll make the decision for you, won't it, Matt?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, 6-3 it remains. Special teams unit jog onto the field for Loughborough, and another feather in the cap of this young Leeds Beckett defence.
Yeah, a bit of a dogfight right now. We're almost at the end of the third quarter. We haven't seen any points in the second half, and we really haven't seen any points since early in the first quarter.
No, and again, those offenses were clicking, and I think the conditions have improved ever so slightly as well since we started the game. So, as you mentioned earlier, it's these two both figuring each other out, making those in-game adjustments. Kick. Oh,
that
what's
must have
happened
been
now?
a bad snap.
It is a bad snap, and
Yeah.
now that's going to put Leeds in tremendous field position as Jack Humphrey had to scuttle back to field the snap.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm not sure exactly if that was a bad snap or just a bobbled by the punter, but in any event, it's going to be great field position for Beckett.
So, yeah, that's just another one of those execution plays where, particularly in these conditions, it makes things even harder.
Oh my God, I'm going to cook that left out.
So, first down Leeds. Let's see whether they can finally take advantage. Not led at all yet. A minute to go in the third quarter. Back to the ground game again. They're just running with some purpose, and there was a gap there as well, just off the right tackle, or right guard rather.
Look how many people are in that pile. You get maybe 7 or 8 guys in that, shoving it forward, and a big first down run for Beckett's going to put them just about the edge of the red zone.
We called his name a bit ago. Bryce May, the centre, who recovered the fumble, and it was Bryce May there pushing the pile at the end of that one again.
Again, that's what you want from your linemen, people who look for work after the play has gone past them.
Shane LaCour remains at halfback. Gets the rock once again. Patiently looks to try and tiptoe his way down towards the 20-yard line. He's going to make the red zone. Is the Beckett running back?
You know, for somebody who supposedly hasn't played running back before, that is a very good run. Good patience and followed his blockers and knew it was 2nd and 1, and it's more important to move the chains than try to make some big play bouncing it around. That might be the end of the third quarter.
I'm not sure they're going to get another playoff in the third. Let's see.
I think Coach Mike's from Beckett's going to say, let's just go flip the field and try
That
to...
is the end of the third quarter.
And that is the case. So 3 periods down then. Loughborough 6, Leeds 3 in this Premier National Division game between these two winless teams. That's not going to be the case at the end of this evening. Who's going to take this one? Loughborough, who scored early and looked like they may run away with it, or Leeds, who have stiffened as a defense but struggling to get anything going on offense. But they're the ones that are threatening now inside the red zone of the Loughborough University students. It's all set up beautifully for this final 4th period, Sean.
Yeah, 4th quarter is going to be the decider. As you said at the beginning of this half, a 6-3 game. It's not quite a tie, of course, but it's so small of a margin. One big play, one broken tackle, one missed opportunity on one side of the field can really be the decider.
And to quote Scott Hansen on Red Zone, we're in the witching hour where wins become losses and losses become wins.
Except we don't have ads.
We don't have ads.
Not
And
like
we've only got one game.
Ads. Yeah.
But anyway, we're having fun, Sean. That's the most important thing. It looks like these guys out there are as well, particularly Leeds. Leeds seem to have a spring in their step at the moment. Ball handle off on first down, and that's well tracked. That's going to be a loss of a yard.
I thought for a moment that Dixon did not have the edge. He did a good job to recover and get his arms on the ball carrier, and then he got some help by the rest of the defense. So it's a good job by Dixon to get his hands when I thought he had lost a gap.
Van O'Connell there, number 96, in on the tackle. Prowling, looking for his next victim. Lines up alongside Biggs there.
I think Biggs has had to play two ways in the last couple of games, so we'll see if that's tiring him out.
Here we go, then up the middle again. It is Lacour with the carry. There's nowhere to go. He cuts it back, and the ball's on the floor again. And Lacour stays down too. More than likely out of frustration and embarrassment rather than injury. But Loughborough strike once more.
Yeah, that's a frustrating turn of events from Beckett's perspective. They're driving downfield. They look like they found something that's working consistently. And yet again, it's a fumble. I will say the Loughborough defense flowed very well, so there was not a lot of space to go. But if you're Beckett, you just got to take that into the pile and then go ahead and take 0. You got to have no yards instead of a loss. So now we have Loughborough trotting out, starting at their own 23 receivers to the left of your screen. There is one person just off your screen to the left. That's Ellis Roth.
And conditions have improved. The rain has stopped as the running back takes it off the left-hand side. And he's going to pick up good yardage on first down. So, yeah, conditions have got better. You'd be kind of expecting these fumbles to decrease, really. But no, the ball keeps sliding out.
How can you not like a running back wearing number 0? You got to love Eddie Emme getting some yards around the edge, making it 2nd and 3rd. You got to love it. It's number 0. For a long time, no number 0s.
No.
Now it's one of the cooler numbers to wear.
Yeah, it is indeed.
Oh, look at the right tackle here, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, he's setting up very well.
Receiver screen, bubble screen, taken once, taken twice. And that's a first down, Loughborough.
Matt, why catch it once when on the same play you can catch it twice?
Only goes down, there's one reception on the stat sheet.
Are you sure? All right. Well, he still got the first down, so that's what's more important.
Technically doesn't catch it first time, so hauls it in second time, but Oluwatosin does get the desired yardage for Loughborough, and that is first down, and they're on the move.
With the way this game is gone, you got to think the next score wins it.
Unless it's a field goal for Leeds.
I suppose that's true.
So first down, Loughborough, trips to the right for Manley. Goes back to the ground again. And it's that same running back, Nathaniel Adeyemi.
That's just a nice little read run. Number 50 has been wreaking havoc from the Beckett front on the defense. And that's the man that you read. You say, we're going to take you out of the play without having to hit you. And good blocking by the offensive line, including number 70, Josh Utley.
I was going to say, you love a polite lineman. The ball was on the floor. The ref started to lean down, and Josh was like, here you go, sir. Yeah, let me hand this to you. Nothing better than a polite lineman. 2nd and 6, Loughborough.
I think these safeties are really respecting Roth in the deep game. You got to assume a pass somewhere else will come in soon.
Oh, well tackled.
And speaking of safeties, that is Beckett's safety, number 30. That's Harlan Hines, came all the way down from the deep safety spot to make a tackle and force a 3rd down. Oh, I'm sorry. That's I flipped it. Here's
looking for number 30 on Beckett.
30 on Beckett. I gave you the name of Loughborough's 30. I apologize. Do we have a 34?
No, we got a 30. Christian Bennett.
I apologize, Mr. Bennett. Bennett came down from the deep safety spot and made a good tackle.
Looked like Adeyemi was going to cut back and pick up the first down, but it's 3rd and a long 3. As Roth comes in motion, and Adeyemi does pick up the first down, lowers his shoulder, gets inside Beckett territory, down to the 40.
I really like what Adeyemi's doing. He's got a good burst. It's pretty clear he's got fresh legs, and the offensive line is starting to move people around the edge.
So, is this the drive that puts daylight between Loughborough and Leeds? Well, they've moved the ball well before and got inside the 30-yard line of Beckett, and then Beckett have managed to force turnovers or block field goals. Man to the air, slant pattern, and that is in and out of the hands of Luke Wicks. Again, slightly on his back shoulder, didn't really lead him.
Yeah, it would have been a good catch considering it was on, as you said, the back shoulder. The Beckett defense is starting to come up and crowd the box a little bit, so those quick slant routes are where you want to go. You just kind of get on the same page.
And it's been a case of nearly so many times for Loughborough. Bailey Mann just struggling with his accuracy in these conditions. 2nd and 10. Ball this time handed off. Another new running back. Adeyemi gets a break for 3-yard pickup that time. He's back on the ground for Zaremski. Opened the scoring in the first quarter with that 4-yard touchdown. We thought that might have opened the floodgates, but it wasn't to be. 8:23 and counting left in the fourth.
One thing that's worked well for the Loughborough offense is this quick little RPO game. We've seen them make some plays off of that, and I have to wonder if that's where they're going to go here with such a heavy package.
3rd down then to the air, and that one's floated, and it's looking for in and out of the hands again. That's Roth, and he comes up frustrated because he did have an opportunity to reel that one in. Just let it slip through.
Yeah, and it's 4th down and 7 for Loughborough. They have another choice to make. They have traditionally, throughout this game at least, kept their offense in.
It looks a bit the same again,
this time part of the field. Yeah, I still think they need to get the tight ends involved more in the pass game. I mean, I understand that they've had some drops over the middle, but that is where Beckett is leaving it open. It's a play action or a fake handoff and then a quick throw.
Yeah, those two safeties are lining up wide. To the sideline again he goes, and he's got his man this time, manages to turn upfield, and that does look like it's going to be a good pickup, but it's never good when a receiver goes down grabbing his knee like that.
Yeah, I think that is going to be an injury, and we'll see how Wicks is doing. He got the 1st down before the injury, but obviously hope that he's okay. You don't want a knee injury.
You hate to see it's always the way when a player drops the ball that quickly. You hate to see that. But anyway, we'll let the medics deal with that, and we'll just sum up the game so far here. We had, as I mentioned, Loughborough won the toss, elected to defer. They managed to stop Leeds on a 3-and-out at the beginning of the game. They then marched their way down the field, and Zaremski scored on a 4-yard run. Then Leeds came back into it, mounting a drive of their own, and a beautiful 45-yard field goal from McBrien took the score to 6-3, and then it's been body blow after body blow after body blow, but nobody landing a haymaker, which leaves our game Loughborough 6, Leeds 3, just under 8 minutes to go in what has been an entertaining game here in the heart of the East Midlands, and honestly lots for both teams to be excited about. You would argue in better conditions, execution may be a little bit easier, but they've both got bigger tests to come. Obviously, mentioned already, next Saturday Loughborough will take on those UWE Bullets, and the day after on the Sunday, Leeds Beckett, they will travel to Nottingham and take on Nottingham Gold at the David Ross Sports Village.
Yeah, unfortunately, injury-wise, I think this might be a longer-term thing. We've got to make sure everyone's safe. So I believe Coach Hilton on the sideline for Loughborough was asking, is it okay if we send some water out and have our guys talk? Hopefully everything's okay for Wicks.
So yeah, as we decide how we're going to pursue this. Yeah, it's been a good advert though, I think, Sean, this game. Young team with Leeds, got a lot to look forward to, and new coach Mike Ripley coming over from the Manchester Tyrants. We can, just before we get back to this one, let's have a look what's coming in March.
Here we go, it's a dangerous show. Leave it all on the floor, let's roll. History's made by the bold and the brave, and the chances you take, let's roll. Everybody stand up, come
So back to the field then. Managed to get that receiver back to the comfort of the Loughborough sideline. So first down, done and dusted. Yeah, that Big BUCS Wednesday, always a great event at the end of the season.
Yeah, I stand corrected. I guess we do have ads, but they're worth it because it's about BUCS Big Wednesday. So that's advertising the great sport that we're already seeing. The BUCS games are always fun to watch, and that BUCS Big Wednesday, you get to see universities compete across so many different types of sports.
Pick up of 5 there on first down. So positive again for Loughborough.
Knocking on the door.
Yeah, here's Alawatassin at the bottom of the screen again, probably drawing double coverage, and that looked like a broken play, and Bailey Mann's going to take off and try and get around the edge, and he can't. Good open field tackle by number 86.
86 or 96? I think it's 96. Let's see if we have a number for him. Beckett did a really good job because there were 2 people to have to keep an eye on, and he did a good job picking the one with the ball. I'm not sure we have a number 96 on our roster. I apologize. But good tackle. Hey, open field tackling, one of the hardest skills to develop and perfect in this game.
So with the clock now ticking down under 7 minutes, 3rd and 4th feels huge. If Loughborough can convert this, they can continue to eat that clock, maybe tag on another 3, maybe 7. Mann fires it in, and again it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Mann ends up on the floor, and remonstrating is Jack Marsland as he's going to get a roughing the passer penalty here.
Yeah, it looked like Beckett was almost saying, oh, what are you talking about? Is it me? Is it me? It's like, well, we'll see what the refs have to say, but I think there's a good chance it was. Marsland, he seems to be disagreeing.
Well, unfortunately, when you disagree with a zebra, you don't usually end up on the right side.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defence number 50. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
One of the things that you got to think, I saw the referee talking to, was it Marsden for?
Marsland, Jack Marsland.
Marsland, and he was talking to him and he's saying you extended your arms. And you see, if you make contact right after the throw, it's fine. You know, obviously bang bang plays, but if you make, and then you extend, they're going to often call that.
So that is a big play because that puts Loughborough close to the 10-yard line now. In fact, it is 1st and goal. Run up the middle again. Defended well, a little bit of window dressing again around the outside. You can hear that Loughborough sideline cheering.
Also, that play is set up to have a QB keep as one of the options, and you got to think they really haven't covered man as a potential keeper there. The linebackers weren't really on him at all. I got to think you keep these 1 or 2 and just sneak this in.
Zaremski with the carry again. He's trying to bookend this 4th quarter. He scored at the beginning of the 1st. He's looking to try and rumble it in towards the end of the 4th as well.
It's a pack box and 2 men on the edge on the right. They are expecting that wide run to the right.
2nd and goal, Loughborough going to the air then instead. Everything's hit the floor. He's got Zaremski, and Zaremski heads for the end zone. Makes one man miss, goes down short of the goal line.
Yeah, look, he was spoiled for choice. He had 2 wide open players. He happened to pick the one who got down at the 1 instead of the one in the end zone. But in either event, it's a good play. Well, when you're quarterback,
absolutely.
If you see someone without anyone within 5 yards of them, you're going to make that throw.
100%.
It just happens to be there were 2 of them.
Absolutely.
And now we get 3rd and goal. And we're at, I'd have to say, what's that, the half-yard line?
Yeah,
of that?
Absolutely.
Somebody break out the ruler.
Line up under centre and get that push going.
I know. Yeah, you got to cry here.
Look at all this space out here to the left-hand side.
There's no one on the edge.
Man looking to try and get him in the right position. Handed off to Zaremski, who is crunched.
Yeah, you got to say it's really quite frustrating because, man, again, he has to be able to read that end and say there is no one staying on me. I have to run into the open field. And I just think you see the defensive end turn their hips and fire inside. You got to punish them for it.
So what do? It looks like we know what's going to go on. The offense stays on the field, but should they go for 3 just to extend that to a 6-point lead, or is there thinking that, well, if Leeds do stop us here, then they've got 99 yards to go to pay dirt in 4 minutes and 20?
I think you're saying we're either going to get this and close out the game, or we're going to make Beckett drive the entire length of the field from their own 1-yard line. As you've said, they're in the shotgun now, and you got to think some quick slants are coming in.
Here's Zaremski in the backfield. Here's that motion. Hands, the ball's on the deck, and Zaremski Sorry, it's Bailey Mann who realised that when he picked that ball up, he looked to try and throw it and realised that he picked it up with his knee on the ground.
Yeah, in our league here, similar rules to the NCAA. If your knee is on the ground or any part that's a down part of your body part, elbow, that sort of thing, you are down, regardless of if you were touched. It's a safety thing. So now, because of that, you can see, jet motion, and he just loses the ball on the bobble. And, I mean, I think he was touched anyway, so he's certainly down at about the 3-yard line. But Beckett does, as we said, have to drive. It's a 90-yard pitch, so they got 87 yards to go, and they got to go 87 yards in 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, they're on their 6-yard line, so they've gone from the 1 back to the 6 after that loss, and it was Marsland there putting pressure. The pump fake from Bailey Mann. The ball slid out. Beckett have their own motion this time, and it is a jet sweep, and that jet sweep is going to get around the edge. It's going to get a little bit of daylight. Out to the 20, down to the 23-yard line, and Leeds Beckett are in business.
Oh, there's a headbutt. That's an ejectable offense by number 10. It was not seen by a ref, but that man's going to be suspended for the next game. He just ran up directly to him and headbutted someone with force. He's really lucky that he was not caught. It's a fine run. We can talk about that in a second, but that's unsportsmanlike, absolutely, by number 10.
Number 10, Aka is going to be facing some disciplinary action, you would think, for that.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to check the film, but that would have negated what was a good run. I know him and number 6 were getting at it, but you can't headbutt people.
First down, run up the middle, and a huge hole at the middle. Look at who's coming down, north and south. It's Zeb Stewart-Harris.
Yeah, well, it's Stewart Harris and number 10 who were getting into it last play. Now there is a flag.
So just wait and see what this flag is for. Looks like Zev Stewart-Harris.
Illegal shift. 2 men moving at the same time. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
I think that we have a first and 15 now because it was a procedural penalty. So it's the down doesn't count. It's just 5 yards and you go back.
So here we go then. First and 15 Leeds. Ball handoff again, trying to get that seam up the middle. And Cheyenne Lecour rumbles forward.
A little bit more maybe than the counteracting the penalty. It's going to be second and long regardless. Might be 11 or 10. So, yeah, Loughborough's got to gather themselves. You can see on a jet sweep, you're only 1 or 2 missed tackles away from a big play when you're trying to work the edges like that. I mean, I suppose that's true in any play, but you saw there it was really only a couple inches from either only 10 yards or a touchdown.
Second and 11 then, pick up of 4. 4/5 of the penalty retrieved. Here's that jet sweep once again, and they're going to try it. It worked first time. It's worked pretty well second time as well.
More fight. There's number 10. He's just shoved him again. I mean, you shouldn't be even in this game from my perspective from safety. You can't be headbutting people. And now he's hitting. You're seeing that. Him and Stewart Harris are in it just about every play right now.
So here we go then. 2 jet sweeps on this drive. So referee comes into signal the 2-minute warning, I believe.
16 Lions.
2-minute warning. Both teams have 3 timeouts.
So lots of timeouts going. It sounds odd to say when you get the 2-minute warning that there's an eternity, but time's not the factor that's limiting you. And so, yeah, I think that Beckett, they just gotta get a couple plays, move the ball, because you can't throw it downfield in this rain. You just got to get some open field plays going where you move the ball only a little bit on a handoff or a short pass.
So there it goes out. And again, miscommunication between quarterback and receiver. Trying to get the ball out to number 40 that time.
You're starting to see it get progressively more and more difficult to throw this ball. You saw the quarterback almost had to get his hand under that ball and kind of scoop it into the air. And it's a really heavy object at this point. It's been in the rain all day. I know the weather has cleared up, but the balls are quite heavy.
So then, Leeds running out of time. They're still not even close to halfway. 3 receivers, little tight bunch formation out to the right. And Sam Hayes has to just throw that one away, and that should be a flag.
I don't know how that's not intentional grounding unless you're saying he got out of the pocket.
Did it reach the line of scrimmage even? There's the flag right there.
Well, is that on grounding, or did they say there was some sort of hit? I think it's grounding, but we'll see.
The way that Loughborough are cheering, I think it is going to go against the Leeds QB.
You kind of got to talk about it as refs and say, well, okay, was he in the pocket? Where did the ball land? Was he under pressure? There are qualifications for this.
Let's have a wonder whether we can get a replay of that, and if we can discuss it as the referees with David Hewitt come to a conclusion. Talking to Loughborough, I can see that signal.
Yeah, that's
there.
definitely grounding. You can see the signal.
Intentional grounding, offence. The ball played to the spot of the foul. It's also a loss of down penalty. It was also a 4th down, therefore it's first down Loughborough at the spot of the foul.
That's big.
Yeah, Hewitt with some authority announcing that penalty as well. It's intentional grounding. You have to be under pressure, and that was a really good job by Loughborough's defensive front. Both their edge players and their D tackles were all just kind of running free roam into that quarterback.
So 1:49 remaining then.
I wouldn't be that aggressive if I was Loughborough. I mean, I suppose you could try, but you could almost run this out.
Balogun in the backfield. He gets the carry.
Beckett's going to have to use their timeouts right now. I'd imagine you're going to see that coming up because it's going to, I think that's a Beckett timeout.
And for a 6-3 game, this has been entertaining. It's had no shortage of drama.
Timeout. Leeds Beckett, first charge time out of the half, 1 minute 38. 1:38 in the game.
Sorry, Mr. Hewitt. As a commentator and as a general fan, a lot of the time you just want a good game of football. Especially if you're tuning in just to watch American football. We're trying to get more streams out there. Obviously, BUCS streaming this one. BUCS has another one. I got to say, Matt, we've had a lot of really good plays today. The Loughborough offense is on the field right now, so I feel a bit bad because I have to think my player of the games probably have to maybe come from defense. I don't know.
Well, I would agree, and if you look on both defenses, we've talked about number 80 for Leeds Beckett, Luke Rodriguez, who's had receptions at receiver. He's played DB, had an interception. He's returned punts. But I'm thinking there's a player on the purple side of the ball who deserves that award, and we'll get to it after this play. So second down then, ball once again to Balogun. He creeps up the middle, and he's going to be dropped short. So, yeah, I think, obviously, you're a defensive man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I love all phases of the game, but what I love is good, strong, fundamental football play. Do I have the right to announce MVP?
I think you can announce that MVP.
But do we have to wait until we know the result
Timeout.
of the game?
Leeds Beckett, second charge time out of the half, 1 minute 22 in the half, 1 minute 22.
I think I'm going to hold off for a second and say, well, what happens if Beckett's their best defender makes a pick six right now? All of a sudden, he's going to steal the votes.
Well, that is true.
So we got 2 more plays, and then we'll go from there. But I think I got my pick in for defense or for overall MVP. If you're Loughborough right now, what you really want to do, you just want to burn this clock and then score on 4th down.
Absolutely.
You burn all 3 Beckett timeouts, and then you punch it in. That's pretty much game over.
Well, you score 6 here, 12-3. That's pretty much game over anyway, because that's a 2-score game with only a minute and a few clicks left. So yeah, there's man again. This time he's going to have to pull it. Can he get to the corner himself? Can he trust his legs? He can't, and he gets side down just at around about the 5-yard line.
So it's going to be 4th and 5. Beckett's going to use their final timeout, just over a minute. Because it's under 2, I believe the ref will announce how much time is left.
Go for it then, Sean.
All right. Well, look, I readily admit I have an MVP pick. It's right here. It's Zeb Stewart-Harris. He's done a great job on defense today. He's really made a bunch of plays in the run game.
Leeds Beckett, third and final time out of the half.
In the
1 minute
pass
21. 1-2-1.
Sorry, yeah, 1-2-1 left in the game with the official clock from Dave Hewitt. And yeah, I mean, Matt, I think Stewart Harris has done a tremendous job. We've called his name all day, his name all day.
I'd agree. We mentioned, like you say, the impact he's had in the run defense, coming from that safety position. He runs downhill hard. He puts his shoulder in. You know, he's not missed tackles. He's had a pick. I think that's a great call for Zev Stewart-Harris today in this defensive struggle.
And now we're seeing a field goal attempt by Loughborough. They want to make sure that a field goal cannot tie the game for Beckett. Beckett obviously has a capable kicker, so Loughborough's trying to extend this lead.
So they've missed 2 already this afternoon. Let's see if the third one can be successful. Third time lucky for Loughborough and Jack Humphrey. And that puts 6 points between Loughborough and Leeds, and with a minute left, that should wrap things up. However,
well, you know, we
one
say
converted score.
Yeah, kick return touchdown or a big play. As I said, Beckett had to burn their timeouts, so Beckett's long road to go down, assuming they can get a good kickoff if you're from Loughborough's perspective. But 9-3. And we get to see our game MVP, Zev Stewart-Harris, going to be in on defense, assuming this play isn't a return for a score. We'll get to see our game MVP. He's probably on specials anyway.
He's right there.
Yeah, there he is, number 6 in the middle of your screen.
So.
Oh, they're huddling before a kickoff. My goodness, look at them go.
Something a little bit special from the Loughborough Special Teams unit.
What do you think they're doing here, Coach?
Well, I just think they're congratulating each other, organising where they're going to meet later.
Probably. All right, mate. It's after the game. Are we going to go to Nottingham or are we going to go to Leicester? Because there is nothing open right now. I mean,
why have you got such a bad impression of Loughborough? If I was the Loughborough Tourism Board, I'd be hunting you down.
Loughborough is a lovely city. I'm just saying, for uni students, they often
is
go somewhere else.
Is Loughborough a city or is it a town?
I don't know what it is, but it's a nice place to be.
It is a beautiful place. But anyway. Just over a minute remaining then, and the ball gets high into the Loughborough night sky. It's going to take 2 bounces and be fielded. No, it's not going to be fielded. And that's another fumble recovery. Marcus Bailey starting safety for Loughborough. He manages to get on the muffed kickoff, and we're not going to see any more of our MVP.
Sorry, Mr. Stewart-Harris, but right now we're going to focus on Bailey. He did an excellent job getting down the field. He's got a tremendous amount of experience in this game. He knows that ball is live. I don't think the ball bounced the way the returner expected.
Kind of just died, didn't it?
Again, it's these heavy footballs. It's the wet, but everyone has to know those conditions right now. So if you're the returner, you got to assume that it might bounce a bit short. Just fall on the ball and live to fight another down. Instead, I believe Beckett's out of timeouts, so Loughborough can just kneel this twice and end the game.
Let's see if they do that. Running back in is Nathaniel Adeyemi. The way they're lining up here, that's not a kneel-down formation right there.
It's not a kneel-down formation, and the receiver's body language don't suggest it's a kneel-down either.
Absolutely, they look pumped and ready to go.
Quick slant over the middle would be open.
Loughborough going to try and pile on the pressure. No, they're going to put the ball up the middle to Adeyemi. And this is risky because, again, a fumble. Like we've said before, one play, one fumble, one return.
One thing I will say, there's probably a good chance that they've done more handoffs than kneels. Because in practice, you prioritize what you're going to do most, and you're going to do more inside handoffs than you're going to do kneel downs. If you're not an under center team, you don't practice under center snaps, and in this weather, you don't want to do a snap you haven't done before.
That is very true.
You probably do what's tried and true, and you say, all right, let's get a clean handoff and just call this a day. We have a stoppage. Loughborough has called a timeout, which is curious. I wonder if they want to get certain players onto the field for the last play. This is their homecoming game.
Timeout, Loughborough. First charge timeout of the half. 40 seconds remaining, 40 seconds.
40 seconds.
I'm going to ask a kind of relatable question, but not, what is homecoming?
So, yeah, I mean, as far as I understand it, having grown up in American school systems, American schools, all of the time, one of the home team would be away for several games in a row.
Okay.
Maybe 2 or 3 games. Sometimes it was done to redo the grass while they were gone.
Okay.
And then you'd come back and you would have a homecoming game because your team hasn't had a home game in a month or so.
And then festivities
and
afterwards.
then they make festivities. There's dances, parades, and rallies in schools. So today is homecoming for Loughborough. And so they might want to get a few players on the field for that.
2nd and 9 then for Loughborough. Adeyemi remains at halfback, and he's going to take the rock once again, and he's going to get snagged in the backfield. So could a team have more than one homecoming a season? If they've got like a...
Traditionally, you would just designate one.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not even sure it really has to be, that long.
All right.
A lot of these teams don't play on grass. It's not like they have to re-sod anything or turf anything.
Fair enough. I just wondered. I've been following American sports for years and years and years, and whenever homecoming's,
Matt,
mentioned...
You could be my homecoming king.
I feel honoured. I'm going to have to look at my wardrobe and see what might be appropriate.
Get you a crown out there. And I think this is going to be the game. The refs just kind of doing their formalities, letting the clock hit 0.
I think that's exactly the case here. Referee David Hewitt holds the ball aloft, and the Loughborough University
that is the end of the
students...
game.
I will apologise, as you have a couple of times, Sean, for over at the top of David Hewitt. But that does end this game here at Loughborough University with the score 9 to Loughborough University and 3 to Leeds Beckett, which means Loughborough University get their first W on the board of the season. They will remain in 4th place, and they will go and make the trip next week up down to the University of West England.
Yeah, they got to travel down south near Bristol for that game, and UE now has some momentum, obviously having come from behind.
So the game itself, it started off fast. The Leeds, they lost the toss. They were put in to bat, as it were, and they couldn't get that ball moving, but Loughborough could, and they ended up marching down the field and scoring. Then Leeds came back with that field goal, and before you know it, that 6-3 scoreline seemed to stick as the weather did. But it was entertaining, end to end, good plays on both sides, and it took till the 4th quarter for Loughborough to find the scoreboard again and give us this 9-3 result. But talk about Coach Ripley to begin with, from a Leeds point of view. What's he going to take out of this?
Well, you want to be competitive. They come in, both teams were 0-3. You want to make this a close game, and you want to be able to sell something to your players. You say, look, the work we are doing is resulting in plays. You can now talk to the defense, and you can say, we recovered fumbles, we got interceptions, we made tackles. You circle that on film. You say, look at the plays that you can make when you put this together. And I think when you're coming in from Beckett's perspective, you're saying we got better than where we were. We managed to put at least a field goal on the board, admittedly a long field goal, but that's credit to the kicker. And I think if you're Coach Mike, he said he had a 5-year plan. This is what you're shooting for, is in your first year you want to try to be more competitive. I'm sure they would have preferred to come out with a win. They will play Loughborough again coming up, and they can use this tape to try to make that a closer matchup.
And as far as Martin Hilton and the Loughborough boys are concerned, would they have been expecting to win this a little more easily?
I think when you're 0-3, you're happy to get a win no matter how it comes. You just want to get out there. Obviously, there are things they can improve. There's obviously things that they did well that they'll want to do more of. But when you're 0-3, you'll take a win however it comes. Except potentially a forfeit. Those are never really, those aren't very satisfying. But if you beat someone in the field of play, you'll take a win when you're coming in 0-3.
So as the players exchange pleasantries, let's have a look at the highlights from the game. So we started off with Oliver Zaremski barreled in from 4 yards, hit the truck stick at about the 3, and that opened the scoring. Extra point was missed. He loved getting in the end zone there early on in the first quarter, as you can see. Leeds then came back and answered
with a 45-yard kick, the only score for Beckett today. A very, very, very impressive kick, and that really set Beckett up for what we thought was going to be a higher scoring game, but it ended up staying there for a long time, in part because quite a few underthrown balls. We had Leeds Beckett getting a good job, and Rodriguez getting an interception to stop that completion. And he was hyped up. Rodriguez was definitely one of the better men of the match this evening. The Beckett offense tried to get some things together, but unfortunately we had, from their perspective, unfortunately had another interception. And that is our man of the match. That's Zev Stewart-Harris with the interception for Loughborough. Bailey Mann and the Loughborough offense tried to keep things going, but a fumble on 4th down led to Beckett getting the ball once again before halftime. And Beckett tried to do something with that, but as was the theme throughout the game, we did not see any more scores. And we had some big special teams plays, but Some of them weren't for any yardage of gains because we had this kicker just booting things out of the back of the end zone. He has quite the leg on him, and Ellis Roth being one of the more dangerous players on Loughborough, trying to keep him out of the game with these long kicks. Bailey Mann looking deep, and we had a drop, and we can see here these rainy conditions affecting gameplay. That was Scott going downfield and right into two of his hands, and he could not grab it, and we saw that as a theme throughout the entire game with this poor weather.
And that one could have really made a difference, that one over the top to Clark, and he's going to, number 88, Tobias.
And then we saw a deep kick here, and again, we're talking about the kicking game taking people out, but Ellis Roth using his speed and turning the edge and bringing Loughborough into their half of the field. A tremendously quick returner and receiver. Roth was one of the dangerous men on special teams. With these conditions, Matt, we saw quite a few balls hit the ground. And that was the case here for Leeds Beckett. They looked like they were driving down to potentially have the go-ahead score, but that ball hit the ground and Loughborough forced the fumble and recovered it.
Yeah, then Loughborough tried that extra field goal, the third one, and that was complete.
That turned out to be the final score of the game to go 9-3, but before things ended, we had a kickoff, and we saw talking about special teams. And with that bobbled kick return and a recovery by Loughborough, things went ahead and ended off.
In the darkness, heartless, left for dead, long forgotten. Something was pushing me, pulling me straight down to the bottom. Then I came alive, I walked through the fire. My mind turned the embers to red. Got caught in the deep, but I calmed the seas, and I'll never be the same. Only thing that I can say is second guessing, fight till my last breath, 'cause I was born to be a legend. I was born to be a legend. 'Cause I was born to be a legend. When you've been to hell and back, you're swearing that you'll never take what you got for granted. Rising from the rubble, struggle, I'm gonna be the last one standing. It runs through my blood, I've just begun to see I'm the one, I'm the chosen. The power inside is starting to rise. I know I was made for this moment. Only thing that I can say is I was meant for this, and I'm never second guessing. Last breath, 'cause I was born to be a legend. I was born to be a legend. 'Cause I was born to be a legend. Legends are born when the battle is raging. The blood in the fight, sacrifice that is made, and the reason we never stop till we make history. Oh, oh, oh. I put it all on the line and I made it, reminded of why when I look in your eyes. I wish I could stay, but I'm destined for so much more, 'cause I was born to be a legend. Oh, born to be a legend.
Welcome everybody to BUCS Super Rugby. That's right, the best leagues in the land are back. We are back for our 10th season. 2016, what was happening back then? Donald Trump, first time he got elected president. Stranger Things was first aired. Taylor Swift and Calvin Harris were dating. Well, not everything stands the test of time, but one thing that does is this very league here. This is what it's all about, BUCS Super Rugby, where the best university leagues in the land battle it out for cup glory. Is there enough dead ball, Aaron? You betcha! go storming on, dragging red jerseys. Dab through once again. Perfection.
Smart little nudge to keep the foot race going. A little snipe, they're over the line, it is grounded by Grace White. This time, interception, here we go! Dylan Scott onto the poles, and Cardiff men are going to be in touch as the whistle goes.
Wednesday nights, where else would you be? BUCS Super Rugby with us on the live stream or here in person, the best league in the land. See you next time.
Here we go, it's a dangerous show. Leave it all on the floor, let's roll. History's made by the bold and the brave, and the chances you take, let's roll. Everybody stand up, come together. Now it's time to let the whole world know. Here we come, up and ready to run, till the battle is won, let's go. Stomp your feet, shake the stands, make some noise, this is your chance. Bring the drum, get up and dance, this is your moment. Clap your hands, clap your hands. Clap your hands. Let's see you dance. Clap your hands. Stand up, come together. Make it loud, everyone in the crowd. Join in the sound, let's go. Stomp your feet. Shake the stands. Make some noise. This is your chance. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. Clap your hands.
They tried to put pay to it, but it didn't affect the result really as far as Loughborough are concerned. Got head coach Martin Hilton with me and our MVP, Zev Stewart-Harris. Yeah, congratulations, boys. First of all, coach, what's the biggest thing you take out of that victory today?
Really glad of the win. It's a tough season and proud to get the win at the end. It was a lot of pressure on us, especially at the end. Leeds Beckett really put us under the pump right at the end, forced us to make some last minute stuff, opportunities taken, especially on defence, turnovers taken. So really proud to get that win in hard circumstances.
We commented, you're down as our roster as a safety, and the amount of times you're in the backfield making tackles against those running backs. What's your mindset in terms of, when you're reading that situation? Because it just looks like it's north and south all day for you.
Yeah, pretty much like see-ball, hit-ball. Pretty simple for me, really. Sort of playing out of position today, which was interesting, but good fun. New experiences are always good, and the weather sort of helped with all the throwing and hitting things.
So first win of the season. Yeah, obviously a big one next weekend. How are you going to approach that?
Enjoy tonight. Definitely enjoy tonight, and then we'll have a look at the film first thing in the morning, start reassessing. I know you have played today, so they'll be on the same time frame. And then just like this week, start putting the meetings in, start working through the film, go through it as always, and then try and build on this, try and build a bit of confidence from this so that we can get some good practices in and build in the right way so that when we come out to UE, we mate them and we go play by play and we do our best against those guys.
Weather then obviously a factor. Did it influence the defence as much as maybe it would have done the offence? How did you guys approach? Did you have to make any adjustments?
Not really, no. I thought we just sort of saw what was in front of us and played according to that and had quite a good game for us. So I think we were very sort of set in our ways of what we were doing.
And finally, I'm sorry, Mark. I'm going to end. If we had a debate in the tent there with Sean and I about Loughborough, and Coach said about enjoying tonight. Sean Endicott down there doesn't think there's much to enjoy in Loughborough. What are you boys going to do tonight? What's the plan?
It's our homecoming tonight, so we've got a few of the old boys up. So I think we're going to go and have a very, very quiet night in a pub somewhere. yeah, and have fun and see where the night it takes us.
Excellent. Well, a huge congratulations, guys. It was a great game to watch, even though it was a low-scoring affair. And like you say, credit to Leeds Beckett. But congratulations and best of luck for the rest of the season. Congrats, boys. Well done. Well done. So I'm hoping Sean's around somewhere. I can't see. I don't know where Sean's gone. He's on his way. Right, so thank you, boys. We thought today was going to be a little bit of a wet one, a damp squib, but now Sean's arrived. Goodness me. So Sean, we've got some. Apparently, Loughborough is a very good place to go out, according to Zev and according to Coach, and it's their homecoming, as we suggested. So they're going to have some quiet drinks this evening. But talk to us about the game. Obviously, we knew the conditions were going to make it difficult, but how impressed were you with that young Leeds defence?
Yeah, I thought the Beckett defense did a really good job stepping up. You can see Loughborough had some plays going on early. They had guys that they were getting open, and Beckett made some good adjustments. We saw the kind of the more bread and butter plays of Loughborough get shut down later on in the game. Obviously, we saw the conditions come into effect. As you said, we saw some drop passes, some fumbles, that sort of thing. But, yeah, Beckett did a good job stepping up.
And can this be a springboard for Loughborough to maybe, obviously, you're thinking the big three, Nottingham, UWE and Durham. Can Loughborough close that gap between those big three, you think, as a result of this?
I think it's difficult to judge that until we get a little more gameplay going on in the National League. Loughborough, it's a big jump to get up to that level, and I think we have to see them kind of get fully healthy and then see how they respond to a win. Can they build momentum off of that?
Well, it's been a great advert for American football at university level. 2 young teams, 2 developing teams. Coach from Leeds didn't want to call this a rebuilding year. He's very happy with what he's got, and I think he's got some really good prospects moving forward, as do the Loughborough University American football team under Coach Martin Hilton. We've really enjoyed it here tonight. The weather has now stopped, and I think Sean and I are going to try and join those homecoming boys and see what Loughborough's got to offer. Next game of American football on BUCS is going to be brought to you on the 7th of February, so join us for that, but plenty more BUCS sporting action to go before that, with the culmination of the sporting season being on BUCS Big Wednesday in March. So from Sean Endicott and from myself, Matt Walker, thank you for joining us, and we will wish you a very good night here from Loughborough.